go. JTB, baby. Underdog of the year, baby. Let's go. He said the legs damaging. He's just kicking the legs. He dropped it and it's pulled him into the mouth. Could be over. And it is.
Yo.
What did I say? Really?
I'll turn myself down, it's alright, one sec.
Me personally as well, like he's come on, I don't think these guys are like, everyone says I don't know if I hear you backwards, but until you actually get a name to some of these guys, that was big, man.
Finds a way back to his feet, back to his feet. I know Henry will be asking. That was a beautiful ground and pound defense for the underdog. Just absolutely. And he's out. He's out. Kezalar, bro. Is Kezalar, bro. Yeah, very tough. Surprising, man. Another drop. And that's it. Yoda, 3-1-2. Wow.
Wow. Beef up slick, is it? Yeah. Where's he?
Like you said, it was like very locked into this.
Dominant as expected, very dominant. Oh, and a big drop. Pulls it to Mount. Boosh! Hello everyone, welcome to NEC 5, Fadanator versus FrostyMMA. On the commentary booth with me today, we've got Concept and Doctor. Hello you guys, how you doing?
Yes, we're back. NEC 5.
We are back indeed. So looking at the fight card there in front of you, you just had a quick skim through. What fights are interesting you both this evening?
I mean, if I had to say, everything that's up on the 1v1 meet is looking huge, right? So, you know, just before the main, just at the end of the main card, right, you got Suave Jamie versus Dirty Dave, big one. Again, you can put your stakes onto that. Yoda versus Kezalar, Wobbsy versus Kenya is going to be a banger. You just know they're going in there to kill each other, right? And then, to start us off, we've got very own JKB versus Anime Experts. So, I think the 1v1 meet cards are looking good, and of course, you know, the main event there as well.
Doctor?
Yeah, I mean, you've also got fights that are just in between 1v1. You got Leech versus Cadden. That's going to be a striking match galore. You've got Spider, a killer striker of Score going against another killer striker of Mark Jeffs. Kante versus Noeta, which is bound to be a barn burner. Then you got the Mac coming against Sonic Sean. That's going to be either one or the other way, I feel like. And then you've got names like Trixie, Easy Work, Slick also Slick, I think, is also stepping in later in the card. He's not on here right now, but a bunch of fun fighters here and looking to put on a performance of the night, each of them.
Yeah, very interesting. One of my favourite fighters was Spider. A lot of people know that he taught me most of my game. Obviously, my game not very similar to his, but he's, as a lot of people know, I was once a little wrestler. I used to only wrestle double leg bows, and then obviously joined EK with EK Spider, and then obviously formed a very, very good relationship, sparred thousands of times, and now, yeah, I'm a dangerous striker. So yeah,
we're sleeping on another banger as well, boys. We're sleeping on a big banger, which is Paps versus Naz UFC.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, that's going to be a banger.
Fight number 4 in the comp?
Yeah, so they fought in
Yeah.
prime time a few times.
Naz won that 2-1 in the trilogy.
Yeah,
Both
2-1.
both times by the means of grappling, I'm pretty sure. So
Exactly. So Naz
one
might go
had
to
perhaps has
that
got his
route of
takedown
victory, but
defense.
I mean that's exactly what it is, right? But I've sparred with Pouts tons of times. Like, he's one of the few people that I've sparred with quite a lot, and he is a killer striker. He's the top striker on the game, right? So it's gonna be a good fight, man. I'm telling you now.
It's going to be a good fight indeed. The Mac, Sonic Sean, another good fight I like to see. There's been a lot of trash talk from them two gentlemen. The Mac, one of these guys, ego is only the limit. He claims he's one of the best to do it. He's claimed he's one of these best new up and comers. He's going against Sonic Sean, someone who had a tricky start against Warbsy last week, but Warbsy obviously a tough competitor. So that's a very good fight. I'm looking forward to that one to see where the bad blood with that one will end. The Leech versus Kylam as well, good fight. Kylam as well, another great competitor, obviously, and with a beautiful performance last week against EK Scotland on a late notice, so that'll be a very interesting fight. All very interesting fights tonight. We will be kicking it off with myself and Anime Expert. We are both 2-0. The reason why, appreciate the follow there, VD, Maury. But the reason why I kick off the show, because after I do my fight, I switch over the monitor to continue with the rest of the card. So I usually just put myself the first fight of the night. The 1v1v1s have to be split pretty evenly anyway, so it's easier if I just do the first fight of the night, and then we go from there. So on to our first one, if this is done correctly. It will be Anime Expert versus myself, Jakey B. Do you guys know much about Anime Expert?
I know he's
RNC's on ranked. I know that much. I know he's top 100 on there. I think he's notorious in some realms of the RNCs and other type of shitty stuff. That doesn't particularly work in this comp setting, but that does mean he's probably got some decent grappling to go against. If he's top 100, he's definitely an experienced fighter. So you've definitely got a tough fight ahead of you. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, mentioning his grappling, that shocked me a bit because we've run a few NUGS events, and Anime Expert is someone that always shows up. He's a solid competitor. He puts, he's 2-0 for a reason. He's looked really clean in all of his NUGS performances. He even took Trixie to a close fight before, which is no easy task as we know how good Trixie is. So, a lot of people sleeping on him. I'm going into this one on the 1v1. He stakes a heavy favourite, which obviously I do recommend at all times. Make sure you are staking responsibly. But yeah, he's a good opponent, not someone that I will look over. I am feeling very good about this fight. Been playing today, got to rank 25 in the world, so I am feeling good. But he's a good opponent. Both got the PT arm pick going in at bantamweight. So while we are here, we will just go over the rules. We'll go over the rules. So the rules of the NEC, so there you can see your list of your banned submissions. As Dr. did just mention, he does love a backseat in RNC, but for this, it is banned. There's a list of your banned exploits, so your commentary team will talk you through them throughout the fight, why they are going. So any use of that, it will be an immediate disqualification. So yeah, we can't start yet. We've got to wait another 5 more minutes before we get into this one, but there is just your rules there. So to make everyone aware of what's going on. So, do you think them rules are fair, gents?
100%, right? I mean, when you're looking at the submissions, they're OP. That's the reason why they're banned. They're just way too powerful. In my opinion, they shouldn't be in the game. And with all the exploits and things like that, I'm pretty sure we've all been on ranked and had them used against us.
I just wish submissions overall were better. Like, the entire submission system needs another re-overhaul. Just go back to the UFC 3.
UFC 3 submissions were clear, bro.
Do you know the most interesting part? I went back to UFC recently. The striking, awful. Genuinely, striking terrific. But the grappling's actually quite nice.
No, but then you think UFC 3, right? You're looking back at the older times. The grappling was set to 30 FPS as well, so it was a lot easier to sort of get the denials, and so was this game. So
the DA and the entire reversal system was a bit all over the place on UFC 3, but
100%. But yeah, I mean, the rules are the rules, right? They're fair for a reason. It's so people can't come in there and just use things that would be sort of unrealistic, really. If you was going to look for a real fight, especially the exploits and things like that. I think those are the most annoying things that you might come up against. So
The exploits are arguably one of the most annoying things. Sprawl Undeniable, for example, that just stops damage across the board. What a person would argue, side control undeniables would also be another one, but they're not easily as seen. It could just be someone having a really bad time at getting denies, and while Sprawl Undeniables, 9 times out of 10, person's going to deny them. So that's easy. Mount Bobblehead as well. That just stops damage entirely. Cage clinch unblockable hooks, well, that just does damage and with no clear way to counter it. And the stam drying exploit, of course, you're just going to have your stamina gone, leaving you open to the body if they want to break off afterwards. Or
Exactly,
an armbar.
and those are the rules, right? So if you're looking to compete in NUGS, if you're looking to, get yourself a title shot maybe at one point, and you're relying on those techniques, yeah, you're not going to get very far. So, try and play clean. That's what we advise, right?
Yeah, always play clean, look to put on a performance, play within the rule set given, and as I've seen a couple of people say, Fight of the Night's looking to be past us in that, so one would hope neither of those two are going to be using these rules to possibly induce something and not get a performance awards. Although Webbo is saying that undeniable is a class in Sprawl, so...
Yeah, it's just one of them things, right? There's a lot of things, like there's other things that we do wish we could implement into the ban system, like HUD watching and things like that, but it's just things like that that can't be policed, right? It's tough to police sort of certain techniques, like you say, with Sprawl Undeniables, and things like that, and HUD watching. So yeah, it is one of them, but it is really tough to police them, so it would make it unfair to do that. We'd have to have both people streaming and monitoring, and then even a lot of guys do deny Sprawl while looking at their HUD without like actually HUD watching. So they have like their HUD open and things like that. So it's just one of them ones you can't give 100% verdict on whether they are HUD watching and things like that, and whether they are doing Sprawl Undeniables and things like that. So it does make it very tough. So that is unfortunate, but yeah, the rules are in place. Everyone can see the rules there. 3 minutes up until this next one. It will be myself and anime expert Doc. Do you want to tell the guys a little bit about me without me going too egotistical about how good I am?
What, you? A grappler turned striker who earned his hands in his style through his trade, starting within prime time, making his way up to the belt, earned it there, and then proceeded to showcase his skills later on down the road, and has just looked killer ever since. Still able to grapple, part of that BFAP camp, built for ankle picking. He knows how to grab your leg and cause havoc on the ground, but the man is also a black belt with the hands.
Exactly, and Jakey's got that kill or be killed style, in that octagon as well, right? So if he's going to lose, he's going to make it a fight, and if he's going to win, he's going to make it a war, right? That's the style that we expect from Jakey, so it's nothing less than what I'd expect today.
Nothing
else. And this fight is definitely a competitive fight. Both 2-0, looking to make it 3-0, only to put their performance up on the mat. Anime Tidy, as we mentioned, a grappler who likes the RNC, but as you can see by the rule set, is banned, so he's going to have to find a different way to victory. But if a man is known for his RNC, he's probably got more tools, knees, elbows, anything to make it a bit dirty.
He can strike. I've seen him fight, I was booked to fight against him, and unfortunately I had to pull out because of my internet. But, the man's got hands, he's been slept on a little bit, I would say, right? And, especially, like Jakey mentioned earlier, he had a close fight against Trixie there as well. So, it's going to be interesting. Of course, there's going to be a slight little ping diff, with being that West Coast 170.
Yeah, we're sitting at like 160.
So, yeah.
Yeah, 160 is about normal. I mean, if you play with Dave, it's honestly about the same you're going to get, about 150, 120.
Yeah, I've seen it all before, the high pings. A lot of people do complain about them. Myself, never really been one to complain about matchups.
Yeah, I've never quite.
It's one of them, I feel like they've got the same difference.
Jumping and unsteady, yes, but as someone who's also previously fought Dino and I had him shooting on me non-stop, you'll be surprised how easy it is just to deal with it. Sometimes you're better off just accepting it and going, okay, yeah, neither of us are going to deny each other, so let's just try win on damage and hope for the best.
So a big shout from Anime Expert in the chat said. He has never
RNC'd.
Fair enough. He has never RNC'd
Maybe
anyone. So so yeah. So but that's what I'm saying. From what I've seen from him as well, he's looked really clean in the striking department. I've not really seen him grapple too much. A little bit of leg kicks and things like that. But yeah, overall clean striker, and I think he's a good opponent. I asked the matchmakers if they think this is a fair matchup. I thought it was a fair matchup from what I've personally seen of him. Not taking no free wins out here. Level 99, what I'm looking at, definitely experienced in the game, and yeah, it should be a good fight. And if he does manage to pull off a win against dangerous JKB, it will be a very big win for the underdog. So we are good to go. So do you know what? I'm just going to stay in here and just let you commentate. It don't matter.
Beautiful, bro.
Bosh.
Now it's a scroll through, trying to find the stream.
The lobby. It's going to be a Piotr Jan mirror match here.
It will be a PE on mirror match.
Okay. This is kind of what you expect when you get set in the weight class of bantamweight, right? It's just the two most OP characters going at it. Of course, mirror matches allowed, right, as to not give another person an advantage, especially at bantamweight. And, you know, especially with these two picks, it just signs over to being a war. What do you think, Doc?
Yeah, Jan is basically the case of who's going to be the quickest to get ahead first and foremost, and whoever gets ahead the first will probably arguably lead the fight. Both of them trading shots very early on in the pocket, trying to figure out a way past that block. So far, though, Jakey looking like the more experienced striker, even as Anime is looking to hold the centre of the octagon.
Yep, exactly.
Tell him who's who.
I mean, Jakey... Sorry?
Tell him who's who. Red gloves.
Telemizu, yeah, exactly. Red shorts, red gloves, that's JKB. Black shorts, blue gloves, that's Anime Expert. You can see the hood in the top left and top right, just in case you're a little bit confused there, right? And yeah, Jakey's the one that's sort of doing, let's say, a little bit of damage early, coming out with that JKB special, slip straight, ducking roundhouse.
I'm surprised you haven't seen more of that. I remember fighting Jakey in ranked in recent times. The amount of stuck in egg kicks I got fired at my head as Marab was a shock and all.
And, you know, with the slight sort of thing that makes it a little bit harder to sort of move your head and sort of get out the way of some of these strikes. But, you know, Jakey doing well predicting these straight shots coming in pretty early and, you know, getting a few counters off from the back of that.
Yeah, making sure to both of them establishing the jab here, trying to figure out where the range is, what's going to be working on the block as well. Anime's block should be noted to be quite a lot lower than Jakey's overall so far. Jakey landing a lot of the shots there, doing a lot of the damage, and the stamina even in the head health does seem to be slowly creeping just outside of Jakey's right now.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I mean, in a 3-round fight, as long as you're not being completely reckless with your stamina, it shouldn't matter too much unless you're completely gassed at the end of the first round. You know, with some of the recovery stats of like fighters, it's a lot easier. But a big drop there for JKB, drops him into full guard. Is he going to get the finish here?
Only Standard now getting the finish. Only just manages to stay alive as he now goes to the full guard. A get up there does be attempted, not managing. Jakey now on the ground. You've got to imagine if Jakey's in this position, he's going to be wanting to just continue on the pace, put on the pressure, and just look to land another roundhouse.
And with that Piotr Jan Force of Nature perk, you know, when he's got this big of an advantage already, everything that's coming through to Jakey, it's dealing less damage as well. It's one of those perks that make him really sort of OP in this division, right? So, you know, it's really hard to sort of take back the lead from Piotr Jan once you've got him in this position. So, you know, I see Jakey sort of running away with it here in the very first round.
That's definitely what's happened. That block has taken majority of the damage Jan has, the Anime has taken so far, and it's now getting more and more shot as time goes on. So far, the head health has been blinking a few times, but only just managing to stay up on his feet. So far, this round overall concept, the knockdown has gone to the favour of Jakey, and as we draw to the last 20 seconds, you've got to imagine this confidence that Anime is going to have come to his second round. He wants to breathe, rethink his strategy, and then start to maybe make some adjustments coming into the second.
Yeah, man, but that's really tricky to do, right? Especially when you're coming up against someone who just wants to be in your face all the time, you know? We'll give a punch to take a punch, especially at this point when your head health's already lower. It's, you know, really tough to try and crawl back from, you know, a fight like this where it's not as patient, it's just everyone throwing. So it's going to be tough for, you know, anime expert here, sort of going forward, I'd say. But again, anything can happen. It's tough to say.
Yeah, well, the touch of gloves into the second. Anime the first one to offer up a strike. Sun back on, now get a straight overhand, does only miss with Jakey ducking underneath it. 20 seconds into this first round, the stun already is on the table. It's looking like this is going to be a start off with a brawl and a half as, again, they start to be in the middle of that octagon looking for big shots against each other.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And you know, it's sort of about that as well. You know, if I'm Jakey here, I'm trying to give a punch to take a punch. You know, I want to hit him with something inside the pocket. If I eat one, that's fine, because his head health's lower than mine. So, you know, maybe that's the game plan that we'll see Jakey yeah.
Job's going back either way, trying to figure out what the reactions are going to be. Is it going to be a dark? Is it going to be another dark? But Jakey reading all those shots, landing them only just about not managing getting a drop. 3 minutes on the clock now, and Anime starting to come back, but an elbow lands there, just avoiding the knockdown of which could have came. And again, these two wasting no time, going straight back at each other, trading shots whenever they can.
Oh, there we go. Should be able to go. I think that's it.
Well, the knockdown happens there. Backside position here. Throws down as many shots as he can. Yeah. Only just surviving, but he gets the finish.
Let's go, baby!
And if you stake your money on JQB, you're a happy customer, right? So that's why you want to get involved. You know, stake responsibly, of course, right? But, you know, like I'm saying, it's, you know, all there to play for. So make sure you get yourself in there as well. Huge win there for Jakey.
Yeah, Jakey having an easy time getting the finish, getting the knockdown there. A bit of difficulty at the very beginning of the round, getting stunned himself. But that was murder she wrote at the very end, getting the knockdown, coming down and finishing in backside.
To be fair, second round as well, started feeling it, he started doing well, started coming back, started doing very well. Big GGs to Anime Expert, thanks for showing up. Probably next, a lot of people saying JKB title shot, but I reckon, I don't know, man. I want Suave Jamie on 1v1 me.
Referee Yves Leving has called a stop
if
to
he
this.
wins.
Big.
Let's get back to the card, gents. Just give me a sec while I change over my monitors. Talking through the next fight, if you can.
No worries. Well then, Concept, from one fight to the next, it will be on number 2 on the early prelims. It's going to be Smiley versus S. Rigby. Two guys that, I'll be honest, I haven't got a clue about. What about you, Concept?
I can't say that I know them very well. To be honest, I can't really say that I know them at all. But I've seen, I think, S. Rigby, you know, here or there, sort of in the, you know, NUGS chat, sort of talking, you know, making himself part of the community a bit more. I would say somewhat of a newer player, sort of both of these guys to the game. You know, I don't think we'll be expecting, you know, something to the likes of maybe what we just saw, right? But, you know, two sort of newer players looking to sort of introduce themselves. That's the way that I would sort of describe this match. And, you know, just really looking to see, you know, what they can do, showcase, you know, some of their skill set there as well.
I am that gentleman. Yeah, so I can tell you a little bit about these guys. Smiley as well. Smiley 0-1. Rigby, I believe, is 1-2, coming off a loss against Kemio. Done really well in that fight. And Smiley coming off a loss to Kante. So both of them losses, nothing to frown about. I know Smiley loves a bit of a lunge, so it's going to be interesting here to see if Rigby can hold up his stamina and maybe look to grapple. But it's a very close fight, very interesting fight. I'm going to be interested. It's in the fighter check in the link if you guys wanna, if you guys have got that.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, but like I say, big shout out to Anime, GG's bro, JKB, the 1v1 me king. I don't even know what a lunge is. A lunge is like a I don't know how to explain it.
Like a
how do you explain it?
major lunge, you know, like, you know, when they just sort of sidestep across to the side and it just makes it really hard for you to hit.
Yeah, you press one of the bumpers, and then you
up on
flick to the side.
So it's really annoying if you're like quite combo heavy and you're looking to just punch someone's face in.
T-Soul was notoriously good at it. He was on the PS.
I don't think it's good to be good at lunges, bro. I don't think it's hard, man.
Actually, he did time it somewhat well. You can, especially if someone gets a bit too over aggressive. If you play on the back foot, for instance, like Bone doing work, you can just convince them to come forward. They throw a shot, and you just lunge to the shot they're not throwing.
Yeah,
it does. You do have to be careful though, if they're throwing body kicks or hooks in a certain direction and go into it, because then you will just get yourself killed.
Yeah. So maybe that might be a route to victory, right? But you know, we see Smiley here with the Anthony Pettis pick, which is quite brave, especially at welterweight, you have to say, right?
I hate it when they do get this audio glitch.
And Anthony Showtime Pettis.
You're cool for audio, it's just a glitch. It's something, Webbo, tell them what the glitch is, bro. It's like something with the audio.
Well, then, Leon Edwards is arguably one of the best in welterweight in terms of a striker. Only few people beat him out in terms of health stats and even grappling stats. But Pettis, on the other hand, a man who's got routes to victory in all areas of the MMA game, but he certainly slacks compared to Leon Edwards, who's decided to shoot a takedown, which is definitely not where I'd want Pettis on his back.
Very interesting. I've seen this is the sort of style of approach that I'm not sure to call him Rigby. We're calling I think his name's Sam Rigby. It's a sort of approach he come last week against Liam Kemure. You know, this is the sort of position he wanted. So maybe feeling like this is the sort of thing he wants to do. But a big rock there for Smiley early. And that's not what he wants. He wants to look to get back to his feet. The thing is, what do you think it is? I remember I used to shoot out of nerves as well. It wasn't even the fact that I was just wanting to be a wrestler. It's the
I
fact
can't
that
strike for love or money in a leg fight. I don't understand why. I just can't.
You know, kind of what it is. It's like, you know, especially like you mentioned nerves.
Oh,
but as well as
dude.
that, when you are in a top position, you're not taking any damage. You're the one that's dealing all the damage. So if you're a superior grappler and if you can hit a subtle HUD watch like sort of Sam might be doing here.
Oh, he was trained by Naz.
He's probably hard. He's probably hard watching.
Maybe allegedly, right?
Allegedly, yeah. Well, it's not banned, so we can say.
Exactly.
Alleged HUD
You know,
was
like you
coming
say
in.
here, it's
Another
impossible
repost.
to.
He's just raining down shots here, though.
Exactly.
Lunges? I don't think Rigby knows what lunges are. I think he's quite happy to just punch someone's face in top mount. A lot of damage landed so far, good amounts there across the board. Now, though, Pettis taking his back. That's really good, but back in full. Yeah, should have forward stood us up entirely, but looking like he wants to get some streaming strikes back. Edwards, though, getting back up on the feet this time round and onto the feet. On the back foot does Edwards, lands the straight, not the uppercut. Trying to look for the finish there, but Pettis' head movement is arguably nearly getting himself killed more than it isn't.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's look at the stam, bro. Look at the stam on Rigby. The stam is looking a bit worse for wear in his first round. Even after that grappling exchange, he will be probably taking his first round. But if Smiley can get back to them lunges, it will be he will definitely gas out, and a big takedown denial with 40 seconds left, and he can take this fraud damage.
Yeah, exactly. Lay off body shots, worse than that stamina even more.
Yeah, no, Pettis landed a couple of powerful body kicks there as well, so that definitely hasn't helped. It's amazing how the health stats of Pettis are actually coped for the majority of this round, even after being stuck in top mount for 3/4 of the round and getting your head pounded in. I think that's an achievement on Pettis for surviving that long, actually doing a decent job at not taking too much damage and being able to come back at the very end there. Looking at the stats, actually, it looks like Pettis could arguably won that round. Like, I was close. 2 stuns, though.
Yeah, the stuns for me might outweigh it, but it's it's still very close. It does show there that he is outstriking him. Smiley is outstriking him, and if this was a 5-round fight, I think that stamina would be more like you were saying through my fight. 3 rounds, you can sort of blow your gas tank early, and it's not too much of a bad situation. But there, you see him cottoned onto that spinning back kick and laying on the pressure here.
Oh, goodness. That head movement.
There's the lunge.
Twitch kick would have worked fantastically there. I think if you're a Smiley, I think your route is staying out of the pocket as much as you can, being wary of shots like that. Yeah, just kick to the body, just a couple of punches to keep him at distance, but then you want to be just kicking to that body, working that stamina, and really capitalize on it as you go later into the fight. Will be the one. Rugby on the other hand, I feel like him shooting another takedown, getting top mount position again would help massively. But Pettis, seemingly used to the shots now, again getting those takedowns deeper.
Maybe coming in a little bit too predictable as Rigby here with some shots.
Bloody hell.
Remember, guys, you can win great prizes for knockout of the season, and looking for it there, but a big drop against the cage. This could be it as he pulls him into top mount, and we see him took some damage from top mount earlier, and this could be it as he mixes up the strikes beautifully, and it is it is over, and a beautiful performance from Sam Rigby, really. You know, he looked good against Kemure, was pretty close to really winning a decision against Kemure until Kemure just sort of unloaded everything and got that win. So he is looking good, not looking bad at all. Yeah, interesting. We'll have to definitely keep an eye on him for sure. Level 9 account, that interests me a little bit. But yeah, we will have a look into that in the future.
Maybe it's just a new account, bro, man.
Maybe it is something we will have a look at indeed. But nevertheless, that was a good performance, and that does take us on. Oh, what am I doing? I've had a minute. Clicking on everything. Shouldn't be clicking on everything. And up next, we do have BFAP Slick. So a lot of these BFAP guys ain't really been competing too much since the end of the ESFL season. You do see Trixie and Dave who do love a competitive fight, but guys like Slick, Spider, you don't
Dave competing ages.
Well, he does fight in here weekly. But yeah, same with Trixie. But with these other guys, Spider, Slick, don't really see him too much. Did match Slick earlier on ranked, and we had a great war. But he will be taking Lewis 98X. So a lot of people saying, Evo's pulled out, Slick's put in. Tough for Lewis 98X, but Lewis 98X is 2-0. You know, these guys do have to get tested at some point in their career in the NUGS Esports Championship. So, yeah, so BFAP OGs put tonight is out tonight. They are out indeed, Declan. So
exactly that, man. A lot of BFAP guys here on the card tonight as well. So, you know, it's going to be interesting. It's the return of Slick. I've not seen him compete in a long time, right, since the ESFL season, like you mentioned. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, right? I mean, again, I'm not super familiar with Lewis 98, but we're looking to prove himself, and you know, especially Slick, he's a veteran in there. I mean, he's been around since what, UFC ESFL 1 with that. So you know, big fight for Lewis. See what he can prove against, you know, something of a veteran of Slick, you have to say.
Yeah, and being a camp mate of Slick, I know everything he does have to offer. I know the skill level he is at. Slick was the reason that I got in BFAP. Me and Slick had a fight at ESFL 100, I believe, and Slick said, if you beat me, you can join BFAP. I did in fact lose to him. He did single leg bow spam me with Stipe for my life. So I'll never forgive him for that. But after that, there was a vote in the camp, and I did eventually join BFAP, where me and Slick have even been to UFC London together. So we've met IRL and stuff like that. But there is a man in this booth that has known Slick longer than me. Doctor, what can you tell us about him?
I first met Slick all the way back in UFC 3, IFL. It was the Featherweight Grand Prix. I went into that not knowing who the fuck he was, and I came out of there abused. This man held me in top mount as I went. Brian Ortega, completely clueless that Slick was a grappler. I was all, okay, my path to victory is grappling. He took me down. I stayed in top mount. I got my head caved in. I was out in less than a round. That was my first introduction to Slick. Then that continued from that. And as time progressed, this man has developed from joining with EK and has developed his skill set entirely to become what can only be described as a very well-rounded mixed martial artist. Like you, Jakey, you became a grappler turned striker. Slick did the same, and yeah, it's very interesting to see how Slick's progress. And so if you want to take Slick anywhere, he's got an answer for it all. It's just you have to be one step ahead of the game to beat the man, but majority of people will struggle to find which step and which path you need to take to beat him.
You have to say, right, I mean, I've even got some personal experience here with Slick.
Yes.
Fight.
ESFL camps, tell us.
My debut was against Slick. So it was my first ever comp fight. I went in there against Slick. And to be honest, I was battering him for 2 rounds, to be honest. And then I bottled it in the 3rd. I just got hood-watched, and I didn't have the answers for it at that time, right? So, you know, something that you can expect is the heavy game plan, you know, heavy wrestling sort of game plan of Slick. And seems like we're looking for an opponent for him right now, isn't it?
Yeah, Lewis 98X did say he was here before the fight. Maybe got the nerves got to him seeing someone like Slick, but, you know...
I'll fight Slick.
You'll fight Slick.
I'll fight Slick.
Doctor will fight Slick, so it will be the Doctor versus
I will get myself
Slick
absolutely battered. But I'll
Come
fight
on,
Slick.
Doc. You got it now. You got the striking. You've got the anti-grappling.
The anti-grappling, what my takedown defense doesn't exist for love or money. Yeah, true. But I'll fight Slick. If Slick wants to fight, I'll fight.
If you two can get lobbied up, then it will be the Doctor versus Slick Colt. We will run that one, and then if Slick can just invite him, we can get that underway. So, do you know much about Doctor concept? Have you played him?
I do, yeah. So he was, part of DB when I first joined, so when I was really new to the game, right? I remember going up against Doctor.
What weight is it, by the way? Sorry.
I can't actually find it. Hang on.
No, fair enough. Well,
the wrestling I had absolutely no idea how to counter. So, very good wrestling, clean. So, it's going to be a good matchup against Slick because he's going to know how to counter some of the things that I might anticipate sort of Slick doing there. It's going to be a good fight. Doctor's leveled up his striking over recent times as well, right? So, I would say this is a balanced, even match here for both guys.
It is indeed, and we are ready to go. They are getting into it. Lewis98X has not showed up, so the Doctor Who will be put involved. I had a match against Doctor the other day in OWC against his Damien Meyer account, famously known for his K1 Meyer, and he was beating the crap out of me really until I sort of pulled it out of the fire and made a big comeback. But nevertheless, this is a great fight. You see 2016 on the SPAR record there between the two gentlemen, and it's very interesting. Both men's debut in the league, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. It worked out pretty well, both 0-0, and I would say, like I said before, this is an even matchup, right? It's tough to say which one of these two gentlemen it will go towards, but Doctor going for the striking pick with Conor McGregor, so looking to showcase, some of his recent level up, I'd say, in the striking department.
He is indeed, and the touch of gloves there get us kicked off. Doctor with the white shorts and the blue gloves. Slick Colt in the black and gold with the Alexander Volkanovski pick with the red gloves, and these two maybe some sort of gentleman's agreement here, looking to have an all-out stand-up war. But Slick is absolutely
coming through quickly here, man. It's really hard to count some of these Volkanovski combos. They come out so quick, especially at featherweight, man. So good doing work, just pounding away.
With Slick's a lot like me, Me and Slick both notorious for our grappling back in the early stages of ESFL, and then after we joined EK, and another one after we both met Spider, it was sort of a level up to our game, and we both just sort of fell in love with the striking more. Slick Colt is more known for it. He will look to take this position to the cage and probably look for a takedown. He still will utilise the grappling we know and love, but they're a big pull counter from Doctor, head kick off the block, and Slick doing well, but I feel like Doctor's and a big duck straight from Doctor, and I feel like Doc's really done well to weather the early pressure from this Volkanovski pick from Slick Colt.
Exactly, and he's sort of working at that sort of lead leg a little bit as well, so sort of with that, it's decreasing the power that's sort of coming at him with those hands as well, especially if you can get more leg damage. It will sort of come into play. Got to be careful not to get too many of them checked, but so far we're just seeing a striking match. I feel like if it does get a bit ropey for Slick, that's when we might see some of the clinches and cage takedowns sort of coming out, right? So
he will never foul to operate to plan B, but Doctor no strange to the ground game, and he hits the front kick to the leg into the spinning wheel kick. Beautiful from Doctor. Slick working that body, but Doctor doing really well to keep himself in this fight, and showing the advancements he's made into his stand-up game. And both fighters' leg health not looking the best. Slick lands another big leg kick there off Conor McGregor's lead leg, and these two just really trying to put on a show for us tonight.
That's exactly what this is, right? It's just looking like a war so far, and I don't even know who's got the advantage sort of going into it so far. I'd say maybe Slick with a slight head health, and then Doc with a slight leg health advantage here. But first takedown shot there for Slick.
And a big denial. I feel like this would be a tale of one when when we see the first rock, and a big front kick lands, and a big uppercut lands, and any one of these could result into a stun, and I feel like that's where the fight will be won. Whoever gets the first stun might actually run away with it, and that Conor McGregor power working really well for Doctor Who at the moment. But Slick stepping into the pocket, landing a big rear hook, and this one is really close.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's a tough fight to pick against, even now, sort of going into it.
And there it is. There's a big rock from Doctor Who. It goes to the body, uppercut misses, and he goes back to that leg, and you got to think that's won the round for Doctor.
Yeah, Maybe so. It's a close round, but you know, with that stun sort of coming towards the end, have to edge it towards Doc there. But you know, with 2 rounds left and the health this close, it's tough to say who's got the actual advantage going into the fight. You know?
Yeah, big round for Doctor. I have him 1-0 on my scorecards. How about you guys? As they come out, they touch gloves, and as Concept previously mentioned, this is where we might see Slick enter the wrestling. But as we enter this round, I'm noticing that Slick still does have a little bit of a head health advantage.
Yeah, a little bit, maybe less so.
Maybe less
sort
now.
of now, but you know, like
when they touch
like I was
gloves.
saying, that's what I mean. It's tough to say still because the health is the stats are so close still that you know it's tough to say who will actually run away with the fight. You know.
And this is what a big head kick lands, return to sender, Slick Colt, and he goes for the clinch. Gets a double uppercut off of it into the rear hook.
Good damage there.
And there's a big takedown into the suplex.
Huge.
And this is where Concept predicted the fight to be going. Big
But
denial.
a big deny there, you know, like I was saying, Doc kind of knows how to escape some of these positions being a grappler himself, so he's not going to rush these positions. He's going to try and build his GA like players should be doing and, you know, try and sneak out of there like he's just done.
Yeah, even with the Conor McGregor pick, you've got someone like Doc. The Doc does love a good wrestling exchange. You know, even with the Conor McGregor pick, he will still be quite comfortable here. But a big pass over to Mount for a Slick Colt, and a big denial.
Gotta be careful transitioning, man, like that.
Oh, and that's just a flurry of strikes. That could be over, and a slip does save Doctor at the end of that.
Exactly that.
And a
You need
reposture.
to really be careful, especially when you might think someone's. Oh, is that it?
It's over.
I don't know. It's so close.
Look at his head health, bro. His head health is gone. And a rollout here.
he's
He
got
does get
back
himself
flat.
flattened
Nice,
out.
yeah.
And this could be it. Oh, and that's very good back sitting defense. But it could be it. One more strike. Doctor
Now he
surviving
can
by the grit of his teeth.
Let himself
A
get
re
back
flat.
again.
But no stamina for Slick Colt. And he does get a reposture.
That's crazy, man.
And this is it.
That's
And that
wow.
is it. Slick Colt. As soon as it touched the mat, absolutely looking dominant. But on the feet, it was very
It was a
close.
close fight, man.
It was indeed. Very good fight from both gentlemen. Very interesting to see Doctor pick up that Conor McGregor pick. And yeah, it definitely showed the advancements in his striking.
I had my fun.
You look great out
Fuck
there, bro.
Slick.
You look great out there, bro.
It's tough, man. You know, maybe the grappling was a little bit rusty, man. Sometimes it's hard, bro. I've been in that position myself, where you sort of in a league fight, get
Said I
a little bit
wanted to
nervous.
strike with him. What did he do? Shoot a takedown in a second.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Nah, mate, it's fine.
Sometimes there's grappling exchanges.
I don't know. I denied the second one. I swear to God, I denied the second one where I what do you call it? When he went to back flat. But hey, it's what happens. GG's just like fun time. I think I may just start
Good
doing
fight,
that from
man.
now on. Just
It's an
striking for the
interesting
sheer hell of it.
fight.
So moving on, we do have Warbsy will be going at 8 o'clock, so we do have 15 minutes for that. So we will go into our next one. We will skip that one and go into the Spider versus Mark Jeff, and then we will come back to Warbsy versus Kenmure. Yeah, so a great performance from Slick. Commiserations to the Doc. Thank you for stepping in there and saving that. Lewis, 98, you should be ashamed of yourself. But yeah, great fight nonetheless. So moving on, it will be the Spider, the return, the redemption of the Spider against Mark Jeff. So this is your typical vet.
Can't call Mark Jeff a new, bro. He's been around the community.
Yeah, but
for a
what
while,
do you mean when like someone's up and coming? You know, what do you wanna call it?
An up and comer, right?
Yeah, I don't know. But
He
anyway,
still makes the name for
he's
himself
an
in the
underdog,
community.
man. That's
Yeah.
what he is. Spider's so clean.
Up
in
and
that, man.
coming.
I love watching Spider.
so we'll have the up and coming Mark Jeff versus the Spider, the veteran. So it's a typical OG versus a new G sort of matchup. Spider as well, a very entertaining striker. You know, does a lot of things, a lot of feints, a lot of tricky feints that no one's really seen before. You know, a lot of these guys watching tonight, if you're trying to look for someone to be like, this is the man, because his fighting is just, his style is just so unique. But with that, it's not very meta, so he does fall short in a lot of competition fights. The ones he do win are spectacular wins, but because it's not so much meta, sometimes he does fall short. So it's going to be interesting to see if Mark Jeff comes with that typical meta approach that a lot of the new guys are picking up against a very tricky
Fighter's
style.
so clean though, man. Like, he's so defensively sound that, you know, he can sort of work in some of those unorthodox sort of strikes, right? He's a really, really interesting fighter to watch. If you're looking to get some striking tips, this is the fight for you to watch here as well, man. You know, personally, when I was sort of up and coming, seeing Spider compete in the SFL was, you know, really interesting, and, you know, I took a couple of things from his game there as well. But we are waiting here. I think
Yeah, they do.
Lobbied up and invited. And is Spider the one streaming here as well, is he?
Yeah, L_the Spider _L. If you have got that, if you need a link, let me know.
Got that there.
Yep.
So, as we move over, it is in the name, the Spider OG versus Mark Jeff. Mark Jeff, you do see there, he is level 99 purple already, so tons of experience on his side. You know, played a lot of the top guys already, some impressive wins. So not too out of range this one, but it's very good to see Spider back into the octagon, and no bias, but he's definitely one of my favourite fighters to watch do it in the octagon.
Yeah, man, he really is, man. He's so interesting. The pivot lunges that he does, and just like sort of clean, you know, sort of unique striking, is really interesting to watch as well. So, you know, like I say, you can take a couple of things from his game here, but you know, Mark Jeff's a tough competitor. He plays a lot in OWC. I don't see him too much sort of in league fights like this one, but you know, he can't be underestimated really going in there.
So we have Mark Jeff with the Alexander Volkanovski pick with the red gloves. And we do have the Spider OG in the blue gloves with Rafael Fizaev.
Yeah, Fizaev, typically a striker across the board. Imagine that's what Spider's entire game plan's going to be, notorious for in all aspects. He's the one who taught Dino how to strike, and you saw how well Dino was at the beginning of UFC 3 and UFC 4, so Spider's going to do the same so far. Slow approach, happy to be on the back foot, let Volkanovski push forward, trying to pressure him, but managing to circle out, work that body, throw the kicks, and yeah.
And it's going to be a bit tricky for Spider here. Oh, and we see there them little tricks there that you see. You don't see that often. He is a little duck pivot into a rear hook, lead hook, sorry, but. You know, it's things like that, but even then, it don't do too much damage, but it's beautiful to watch, sort of thing. So it's gonna be interesting to see Mark Jeff applies this pressure to the Spider, but like you say, Spider's so defensively sound, he has seen it all before, and yeah, this is gonna be I think this is gonna be a close matchup.
I do think so, yeah. I do think so. Like I say, Mark Jeff can't really be underestimated. He's got some. You know, the basic fundamentals, right? He's got those down. He knows how to fight. He knows how to fight, especially standing up. So, you know, again, he can't be underestimated. But Spider's just looking clean so far. Just, you know, not taking too many shots, not taking any big damage, and, you know, just sort of working his style a little bit.
Yeah, he's slow, steady, methodical in his approach. He's not standing. He doesn't want to trade at any point. He's happy to just fire the shots he's doing and he gets out. The jab getting established, it works out where his shots need to be to do it, and a couple of cases so far he has just circled round and it's just helped with the damage there, because you can see him with that uppercut just there happening. Big sound to that body as well whenever that stamina is low, causing the biggest damage difference.
Can you see Mark Jeff still piling it on, marching forward, but his stamina looked like it's decreasing ever so slightly as Spider works. He slips into the body shots, and a big combo coming out here. Mark Jeff kind of blowing the load a bit, trying to get that head health a little bit lower than his opponents, but you know, it's still to play for. Head health looking a little bit lower on the Fizaev side, but stamina and body health looking a little bit lower on the Mark Jeff side. So a typical body health stamina versus, and there you see a beautiful
that was
pivot
a
lunge.
lovely pivot lunge.
And I don't know about this sort of body hunting game plan here for Spider right now. I mean, if I was him, I'd just be looking for jab hooks all day, man. He seems like he's worrying about the body a little bit, Mark Jeff is, so. But he's kind of piling away at his head, especially with the Volkanovski pick. He's really quick, you know, quite powerful as well, so.
He is a very good pick for this division. Very good pick overall. Mark Jeff is his favourite weight class on the game, I believe, is featherweight, and the Volkanovski pick. So him being 5-star now in lightweight. Oh, but a big rock there at the end of the round for the Spider.
Does that seal the deal for Spider at the end?
Yeah, and we see it in the last fight against Doctor and Slick, where Doctor hit that beautiful spinning wheel kick at the end of the round to secure that round. And I feel like Spider's just done the same there. Beautiful rear hook with the rock just to secure that round, and they will come out, they will touch gloves again. And yeah, 1-0 to Spider in my books. What about you guys?
Yeah, I'd say the same, but this is close, man. Like, the head health and the body health in general is just looking pretty similar, you know, for both sides at the moment. So it's tough to say. I mean, if I was Spider, I'd try and play like a little bit more meta right now and just try and like punch away at his head, but
I think Spider's game plan is working quite well. His main issue is a couple of kicks inside the pocket, which could lead to a big counter, but that's really the only issue. So far, Volkanovski is the one who has to pressure to do any of the damage, and Spider's happy to find shots like that. Again, lands a big head kick. The meta, he may not be playing meta, but it's certainly working. He's capitalizing on great digs down to the legs as well, even more just to reduce that power, add another target for Volkanovski to think about. He's got to defend. You've also got to imagine, though, similar in the idea of working the body, if your opponent's working the body, you're more likely to work the body, which then opens up bigger opportunities from that as well. And so if if Spider was concerned about the head hunting from Mark Jeff, working their body,
wow. And it's things like that that make him notorious. And this is where he's the most confident, and now after that he will be feeling himself, he will start opening up.
The body circling hook is one of the weirdest angles I've seen on this game, but it seems to work so well.
This guy definitely does break the game. Mark Jeff still not too far of punching range in this, but Spider really opening up, really sourcing a little bit into the lead hook, into the spinning back kick. Spinning wheel kick, sorry. But his head health blinking when Mark Jeff does land a few shots. That power there for Alexander Volkanovski still there.
The main thing that is giving Spider the advantage here is the footwork. Which is weird to say for saying Volkanovski has the better overall footwork stat here. Spider is making sure anytime Mark Jeff comes forward, he's following him. He's not cutting the cage off, he's following him, and that's giving Spider these angles to come back into that center of the octagon, because that's what keeps happening here, is Spider walks towards the cage, he gets Volkanovski to bear down on his mouthpiece, come forward, look to put the pressure on, and then suddenly Fizievi's back in the center octagon there. As you can see, he's reset to the middle. He's got the space to work again. He can then start finding his shots, pivots out, and then continues on again. And that's kind of been the issue that Mark Jeff is having for this entire fight. Is he's able to push forward, bite down on the mouthpiece, and do damage, but not consistently enough to where it's going to be a major issue for Spider if he gets hit maybe once or twice.
Big body rock there, and the body work is adding up, man. Got to be a little bit careful in case of the flash, but you know, I see Spider running away with this now. Big body rock, big stamina advantage for him.
Oh, head kick!
And a big rock at the end of the round for Mark Jeff. No time left to capitalise on it. And the thing, you got to think Spider 2 up here, but the thing with Mark Jeff has a slight advantage in this fight because Spider's one of them guys, he will download you. You know, like I fight Spider all the time, and regardless how good people say I think that I am, and regardless of that, he absolutely batters me. Every single time, you know, he made me. Do you know what I mean? He knows. Used to that he just knows. Like, and even though he comes with the same stuff, like it's the same sort of tricky style to fight against. It's just you find like you can't really hit him. But yeah, it's Mark Jeff in that respect does have the advantage of Spider not really knowing what to expect, but a big uppercut lands, and it's proving not too much of an issue. But yeah, I feel like you definitely got more chance of beating this man if you've not played him before.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying there, man, and he's got to be a little bit careful with the amount of body work that he's sort of throwing as well. It leaves you liable to a flash KO, which would be painful to see right now. But just see him running away with it so far. A couple of big rocks going into the third round here as well.
Oh, lovely body shot. Overhand only just missing there. Jesus.
Oh, and a teep rocks the body. And he does take the jump, and this could be it. And he does stand back up.
I don't know, understandable. Working at a jab, kicking the leg just a tiny bit, looking to land more towards the body. Both targets are open. Even the leg is a good target for him to hit here. Decides though to tape round, pivot over, and just cause a bit more chaos. Head movement now starting to come more into fruition as Matt becomes more desperate. Body kick landing nicely, goes into the switch kick, but
I love this style, man. I've got a smile on
Oh,
my face.
Oh!
beautiful KO from the Spider. And what did I say before the fight, gents? If you've not seen him fight before, this was the time, and he really showed out tonight. And it's just his style is just beautiful to watch. He's so clean with it. He's so amazing. But well played for Mark Jeff. You know, no easy opponent. Really gave a good account of himself there. Stayed in the fight. You know, at times looked like he did have Spider's head health in a bit of position where you say, you know, one clean combo and it could be all over. But the OG does prove why he's just a veteran of this game, and yeah, definitely a fan favourite, and I hope we can see him again.
Beautiful to see. I want to go in there against the Spider, mate. Book it, JQB.
Mark Jeff in the comment, my head hurts, bro. That's what he does to you, bro. Honestly, hats off to you, bro, because I don't even like playing him. You know, we're both in BFAP, but I'll tell everyone, I don't like playing him. I do not like playing him because he's just so hard to hit, and he's like the complex of the fights is just I just like marching forward and throwing 100,000 piece combinations off your head, but he don't allow that. So yeah, great fight from both gentlemen.
Like if I could fight like Spider, I would do, but
No, man, I love that sort of style, that technical sort of style where you both trying to download each other's data, man. That's the best type of fights. And if Spider wants to smoke, I'm here. Sorry.
I'll give Spider the smoke happily. I did just lose to Slick and all, but hey.
Definitely performance of the night so far in my books. But next, we do have Warbsy versus Kemyor. Both of these guys debuting on 1v1 me. Warbsy, another BFAP member, like the guy said, this card is stacked to the top with BFAP members. Against Kemyor, B3 Kemyor, and a fan favourite. A lot of people love seeing Kemyor fight. Warbsy, very quiet in the scene, don't really make himself known, you know, even if he wins, he don't really go talking shit and things like that. So no one really, he's been in the community for a while now, but, you know, I think he's a very underrated fighter. Not a lot of people speak about him just because of, I'd say, how quiet he is in general, you know, like someone like me, I'm very loud about my wins and about my losses, you know, so I make myself more known in the community. Warbsy very quiet in the community, so a lot of people just know, when they see him fight, they see him fight. They don't really see much else of him, but a great competitor nonetheless. Going against Kemyor in the 1v1 me, and we do have the up next screen. What can you guys tell me about these two?
Well, Kemyor is a man that doesn't like the takedowns. He's more notorious for his kind of pushing forward, looking to put on that pace. He does have a couple of issues with stamina in the past, but I imagine against someone like Warbsy, both of these throw very high pace, so it's going to be very much a striking battle, galore back and forth in your actions, looking to get ahead of the game where they can concept before then they start to implement a bigger and bigger strike percentage to then get the fight finished.
Exactly that, right? And Kemyor's sort of known, again, sort of similar to like that JQB style, just throwing the kitchen sink, right? Just trying to sort of wear down their opponent. And I'd say Warbsy can react to that. Warbsy's, you know, in my opinion, a very good competitor. You know, maybe slept on a little bit sort of in the community as well, but you know, he's definitely up there, and you know, this is going to be a close fight as well. You know, these two, I'd say, are both definitely very evenly matched.
Both evenly matched before, and you do see Warbsy sporting that 2-1 loss ratio, with Kemyor 2-2 with a big win last week against Sam Rigby, and Warbsy with highlight reel KO on his opponent. Can't remember who it was, name has slipped it from me, but a beautiful performance nonetheless. So we will just quickly go over the rules, gentlemen. Who you got, Mac? Tell us who you got. Tell us who you got. So the NEC rules, all fights will be 3 rounds accelerated clock, other than the title fights, which will be 5 rounds. We do have none of them this evening. Any use of exploits will result in a disqualification. Any use of third-party software, such as a Cronus, will result in an immediate ban. So you see your banned submissions, your banned exploits. We've already had a little discussion about them and what we feel about them. Back sitting RNC, your mounted go-go, standing guillotine, your side saddle arm triangle, your windshield, your screw undeniable, mount bobblehead, cage clinch, unblockable hooks, and the stam drain exploits, which I don't really think we will see from either of these gentlemen.
Definitely not going for either of these two. It's going to be a stand-up fight for sure, right? You have to say.
Saying that, I did actually see Kemio hit an unblockable cage hook one time. It was probably
That one
accident because obviously he's not notoriously known for cheating, but it is illegal. So even if it is an accidental one, it will be a disqualification. But I can imagine both gentlemen will keep it clean and on the feet. I'm just looking for a Twitch link here from either gentleman.
Checking. Camera's positive one.
Let's see.
Firm gentleman came up to me and
Probably has an
said,
advert. Something like
Check the most recent one and checking.
Yeah.
And they're lobbied
Just an
up as well.
advert, gents, and they are lobbied up. We are going with Jorge Masvidal versus the Zinte Luque. And what do you guys think
This
of
man's
the...
got a level. Zinte Luque has a level 2 straight. I'm pretty sure. I think it's level 2. It's actually quite stabby. It's not too bad, especially for his entire build. The man has health stats comparable to Usman, so to try to finish Luque is going to be worth his times. He's a bit blocky, very big, bulky in his model, but he's got the kicks of Pettis. He's got the ability. He has no side kicks, so I've got to be wary of that. But he's also got very good ground submissions if it does come to that point. But it's Ken. I doubt we're going to see that. I doubt he's more picking Luque more for the fact he can take a punch, he can give a punch, and he can cause havoc on the feet. Masvidal's the same type of guy when he has been knocked out twice by Usman and I think someone else. I can't remember. It's Masvidal, and he's a brawling type character. And against someone like Luque, it's going to be an interesting fight. You very much got to pick your shots carefully to begin with, and then as it goes on later, as Luque gets more hurt, you can then start to trade more and more.
Yeah, so
This is
both
sort of
fighters
unusual that
using
I'm
it.
seeing from Warpsy here. He's normally a big fan of the McGregor pick, wouldn't you agree, Jakey?
Yeah, he's a very... he does like to use Conor
McGregor's not
McGregor.
great at welterweight.
Maybe not too much at welterweight, not too sure. Very big fan of Jorge Masvidal in real life. So if you are wondering, we do have Liam Kemure, El Kemure, in the yellow trunks with the blue gloves, and we do have Warbsy in the red trunks with the red gloves, sporting Jorge Masvidal. And this one I expect to be an absolute all-out brawl.
Exactly that, man. That's what we're seeing straight away, right?
Just both meeting in the middle and just going to absolutely swing it for the fences.
Getting the jab established, pushing on the pace does Luque. He knows that his health stats can cope with a bit of trading, so that is what he's doing so far. If you're Warbsy, you need to slow the pace down, maybe work that body a bit, a couple of body straights. Teeps work fantastically as well, but so far back into the centre of the octagon, both of them going back and forth. Switch kick landing for Masvidal, but trades an uppercut there, landing cleanly. The damage he's doing with significant counters, but I don't think that's going to deter Luque until maybe even gets rocked. And even then, it's Camille concept. This man will just keep charging forward like a ball in a china shop.
Yeah, exactly that, right? They're just both going to be there, you know, get ready to get hit, exactly. And I think Camille sort of pre-planned this Luque pick as well. I fought him in OWC last night, and he went for that Luque pick then as well. So got to think he's come into this somewhat prepared with who he's going to use, and chopping at that leg a bit early as well, Camille. Just not something I've really seen from him too much before.
Indeed, as Warbsy keeps digging down to the body, slight head health advantage for Jorge Masvidal, but Kemure still in this fight as he is pushing forward and pushing the pace onto Warbsy. But yeah, even lands clean there with a big combination, and the uppercut does open the block and find its way through to cause some head damage. But big slip, we're seeing some big counters from Warbsy and very counter-based style, and you do see Warbsy does like to zap the stamina of a lot of his competitors, and you do see there he has switched stance, and maybe that's to just take the pressure off of that leg for this round. And very comfortable in this both fighting stances for Warbsy. Unsure of Jorge Masvidal's switch stance stat, but Kemire's still digging at them legs.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly the idea. If you're looking to add leg kicks to your game, use them. You might as well use them on either side. It's a bit of a pain having to restart from scratch the leg damage, but if your opponent's willing to switch legs halfway through, you might as well also keep that leg to be about the same, working the calf kicks there. But so far, Masvidal the one pushing forward within the last minute and a half. Kemure quite happy to circle around, try to get the centre of the gun, and then try to trade. Health stats do look like they're favouring Masvidal, which is definitely impressive. A lot more of the bodywork has gone in favour of Warbsy. The stamina the same way, but that can change within between about a stun and a rock, a knockdown, anything like that there concept.
Yeah, exactly that, man. And this is tough, right? I mean, if I was Wolvesy here, I'd be looking to check a few of those leg kicks because they are going to add up. And if you do check them, you get the block counter off the end of them as well. So you can choose to work that body or that head, whatever you might like. So beautiful, slip straight overhand into the spinning back.
Jesus!
We're seeing it every fight. The end of the first round.
To end a round.
The end of the first round. We see it with Slick and Doctor. We see it with Spider Mark Jeff getting the rock at the end of the round, securing it, and you see it there with a slip straight lead overhand straight off the chin off Vicente Luque into a spinning back fist. I know Ken, you're a big supporter of the same sort of combination followed by the spinning back kick to the head. I wonder if Luque has that. He has that, right?
Probably.
Yeah, might see it come
I know
out.
Sanhagen has it. He was actually quite good.
No, actually, I'm pretty sure Kemio did that. Tried to do that to me yesterday, actually. So I'm pretty sure he does. Maybe just holding that one in the pocket for a time, you know, holding on to that one.
I've definitely told Wolvesy about it. And there we do see the slip straight overhand coming out for Liam Kemio. Leg kick again. Wolvesy still preferring this southpaw stance. And there it is. And there it is. There it is. The famous Liam Kemio combo and a teep to the body to push him back. But not landing. But the leg's looking a little bit cooked.
Yeah, it's looking cooked, man.
Yeah, and that affects the power of Masvidal not being able to trade as well. He's landed quite a lot of damage so far, so it definitely helps Kemio to just be able to trade a bit more when he takes some shots like so. A lot of shots though landing by Masvidal, not as many by Kemio. His main play so far has been those leg kicks. Like to see him get those hands going. Maybe work that body, just have a different option, a different idea of where you want to do, convince him to block somewhere else maybe.
And this fight on a knife's edge indeed. Wolvesy taking round one, but, well, arguably taking round one, but a big pull there, and the hook lands, but nothing doing, and he goes to the body, and a big, and a 1-2 head kick narrowly off the block. Wolvesy does clinch, does take his opponent to the cage maybe. No, he doesn't, but a big rock from Kemio to get him back into this fight. And it's very interesting to see Wolvesy fighting this whole fight in southpaw.
I think it's just all those fights. I mean, we must be used to Connor, bro. I'm exactly the same, you know. If it gets a bit ropey, I'll switch into southpaw because I'm so used to playing with Connor. It might be the same thing.
And a big rock back from Wolvesy, elbow landing off the head of Masvidal. And
that stamina is going to play a part now with 2 minutes left.
Really, the fact Kemio doesn't dig to the body, it's such a strange thing. He's working the legs quite nicely, but he just doesn't. He refuses to work the body.
But it's hard though, man, because you know when you have too many targets, you're going for the leg, head, body. You're not going to accumulate damage in all three of those factors. So I think that's why, you know, if you're working one or two.
Yeah, but a couple of shots, like you see what Wolvesy's done. He's worked a couple of shots. He's worked the body. He's worked the head. Okay, yeah, he hasn't thrown many leg kicks.
Yeah.
But that's also probably because his legs are shot. Now finally switching stances, his rear leg and now being the one blinking non-stop. You've got to imagine if you're Kemio, you're quite happy with the damage you've done and probably want to continue it on the lead leg now as he goes back to it.
I have to say, but you know, that body, that stamina is looking tough for him. And a double rock there.
And a double rock. And a drop from Wolvesy. He does jump and this could be it.
Just a bit longer.
Now looking for the finish. Hooks landing on one
and he does
side.
stand back up, maybe fearing the 95 submissions that Luque does possess.
Tough, man. You get flipped in that position from full guard as well, man. It's a little bit scary sometimes, you know.
Definitely. I've won fights like that, and I can tell you now.
Fights like it, very interesting.
Oh, and a big combo coming out for Kemio, leaving the head out blinking. You got to think Wolvesy may be taking that round also. Very close fight.
Yeah.
Has to be 2-0 Wolvesy, though.
Kemio, about 2-0 into the favour of Wolvesy right now. Kemio having to dig deep. Going to be difficult though due to the stamina deficit included. His body's been worked, his head's been worked. A lot of the trades haven't gone really into the favour of Kemio. That's last knockdown, securing that round.
Low and you know you're sort of going into the fight. If you get a rock, it's so hard to like combo off it because you throw a 4-piece and then you gas straight away. So, you know, going later into this round, it's going to play a factor. If you can get a rock early, again, it will work in his favour because he'll be able to sort of throw that combo off the back of it.
And the touch of gloves to kick us off for this last final round. Everything still to play for, and a big slip from Wolvesy as he does dig down to that body, trying to take whatever Vicente has left in the gas tank out. And Wolvesy fighting a very smart fight here, but he needs to be careful because Kemio very dangerous. But as you say there, the stamina a little bit too low to just stop him from unload that, and then
That's what I mean. And
and a straight
Oh,
lands,
and another
and a
straight.
quit, and a quit.
Jesus.
Warbsy gets it done.
Beautiful, man. That's Warbsy 3-0 now, isn't it? Or was that 3-1?
3-1, I believe he is.
3-1. Yeah.
And a beautiful performance from Warbsy, but nothing to be ashamed of from Lee and Kemure, because that was a great fight. Very unfortunate for him, but Warbsy just sort of weared him down. You see where Warbsy got that last rock. It sort of Kemure couldn't just unload the stamina too much, so it sort of kept him in that. It was a good game plan from Warbsy, but yeah, they were both calling for that fight. Kemure calling out Warbsy for a long time now, saying I want Warbsy, and Warbsy has answered that call and settled that one. So a very big win for Warbsy. Very, very big win. Congratulations. That ties up our second 1v1 meet, and that is a clean sweep so far for the BFAP boys on this card. And we still have a few to go. Up next, another BFAP member, guys. BFAP Kante against Noeta. What do we think?
It's going to be tough, man. Kante's made leaps and bounds sort of recently, right? And he's really coming to his own, sort of, really developed his own style. Got a bit more of a game plan as well. I've seen that when I've been fighting him. It just sort of knows more of an idea of what he's looking to do. Noeta's, somewhat of a veteran sort of in there as well. Of course, one of the KM boys. I fought him a good few times on ranked as well. So, two sort of like very good sort of competitors in there. What's your opinion on both of these guys, Doc?
Oh, both of these guys are wild in their approaches across the board, so you got to imagine that they're going to definitely cause chaos no matter what the hell happens here tonight.
So just waiting for these gentlemen to reply to my message to see where they are at, and we will get this one underway. Fighter check-in, Kante is there. Hopefully these are lobbied and ready to go, and they are. They are ready to go. I did just at them for no reason at all, so I apologise for that, gents. You are ready to go, and I do appreciate that. It's in the fighter check-in, lads. You can see it. It's Aiden's stream. So yeah, very interesting. I do think this is a very tough fight for Kante. I did play Noeta last week, but and I did manage to pull off the win, but Noeta, no slouch whatsoever. He's part of that KM camp. He is very, very good.
Indeed,
he's training with killers, and he's another one ESFL live. He's fought the best of the best, and yeah, it's a step up in competition, I'd say, for Kante. I think he's fought in a 2-2 record himself. Noeta 0-1. And it's going to be a very interesting matchup because Noeta is definitely a tricky customer. So, yeah, very tricky for the BFAP boy here. But you do see Kante with a record of 3-2. I can imagine that is all OWC from these two guys. So, OWC never tells a tale, but we do see a slight advantage for Kante. And, yeah, this one's going to be very interesting.
It's going to be
everything changes under the big lights. And this is one of the big lights they've got to compete under. Noeta in the red gloves, Kante in the blue, both of them wasting no time working those legs as well as firing onto the head. Noeta walking onto a three-piece there, but trying to fire back, looking to put himself off that centre line where he can. Shoots a takedown of himself, tries it, but gets reversed. Oh, and a stun. Jesus, Kante not wasting any time in starting straight off the get-go with a little head movement there, keeping him off the centre line again. And it's going to be the tail of the tape, I feel like. Noeta trying to keep himself off the centre line, and Kante coming out like a bull in a China shot, but gets taken down.
Had a big spear for Noeta there. Kante just coming out, throwing the kitchen sink, and we've seen that from Kante the last few fights. He's just come out, absolutely pressured the fighter. Kante, he's made leaps and bounds to his game. He wasn't all that, like he wasn't the greatest because he didn't start playing this game competitively. But he's really putting a lot of time into this game, and he's getting a lot better. He does take some body damage from Noeta, but yeah, very fast start from Kante as I would have expected. But yeah, he does still need to be careful because Noeta is still very, very dangerous.
Exactly, man. Noeta's clean, bro. Like, he's just a clean striker. He knows his defense, knows his offense. He's got those basic fundamentals down. So going to be tough. Like, you can't think that he's going to walk over Noah just 'cause he's got a lead here.
Well, so far it's looking like Kante's a bit more calmer now. He's realised, okay, I've taken some body damage. He does actually know what he's doing, and so I now actually have to think there. Lovely little counter coming out. But again, Kante happy to walk backwards, allow Noetta to start crowding him, looking for the big counters where he can. They've kind of switched positions now. Noetta's the one leading the dance. Kante's the one following. Started out the opposite way. Kante was starting out very fast, very quick, and that's going to really be the case of can Kante re-figure out the momentum, can he get it back into his hands, or will Noetta continue the pace on into the end of this round?
And by the way, guys, thanks for everyone following. Thanks for, if I've missed any, obviously quite hectic in here, chat's going mental. 111 people was in here just a moment ago. A lot of you coming from the 1v1 side. So I do appreciate that, and I appreciate all the follows coming along. If I do miss you and don't shout your name out, I do apologise, but just know the support is appreciated. We are on a road to 1,000 followers, and Kante just... Yeah, Kante just wearing the fight a bit better, you know, more of the damage coming off on his side. Leg health, not too bad, but we're seeing a lot of guys throwing leg kicks, like Mark Jeff for a few. Who else do you through?
I do.
We see Kemil, we see you throwing some. You and Slick both throwing some. So yeah, a lot of leg kicks thrown on this fight card, but...
Ooh, but he
what in the hell was that?
And Noetta just throwing the pressure on. Ooh, and a slip out the way of the elbow, and it does level things up. A rock apiece. I think Kante maybe got the drop that round. If he checks the
Kante got both, man. It's weird because they flipped sides.
Oh, sorry.
Sort of
Yeah, sorry, that's my bad. I thought that was Noetta that got that.
Noetta's
I'm in a world of my own. In a world of my own when it's a mirror match.
It's sometimes a bit difficult. Well, Noetta thinking he was on the other side anyway, walking backwards, and now they walk forward.
That block of Noetta, though, like, you got to.
It is shot. That's what Kante does, though. This man, if he isn't if he isn't hitting you in the face, he's working down that block, and that causes some utter trouble. Interesting disengagement, gotta say. Maybe not even wasting any time, just wanting to get there. And yeah.
Oh, and these two are going at 100 miles per hour.
Jesus.
And Kante with a big round one needs to... You'd think maybe he would slow down a little bit, you know, securing that first round. But
and a spear.
Beautiful spear from Noetta to get it back to the ground. But Kante does seem... I feel like that's where Kante used to struggle the most with his takedown defense and his ground in general. But he does seem to be a lot more comfortable now with... other than the spears, he's denied most of the open cage takedowns and... a lot of denials, you know, and he goes to sprawl.
Yeah, a lot of the spears are purely just about making sure you don't gas yourself out, and that's kind of Kante style, playing a bit like Manhu, as you mentioned earlier, throwing the kick from the sink. That stuff kind of just is going to happen, so it's about adjusting your striking even slightly. This is an interesting idea. I get the idea Kante's going for. It's like, I don't want to grapple. I'd rather you just kill my body and work in it. But as you can see with the stamina, with being in the same fighters especially, it kind of leaves him open, leaves a question mark on the judges' scorecards of will that damage actually end up...
Big rock.
Oh.
And a big rock coming back for Noetta, and this is Kante's fight to lose as we approach the 2-minute mark in the second round, mid-fight. But Kante's still just throwing, and he drops Noetta there, waits for him to come back to his feet. And what a fight we got on our hands here, gentlemen.
Yeah, man, like I said.
Noetta's block is...
Yeah, his block is sharp,
yeah.
man. It's what making it really tough. Kante can just sort of throw like a full piece. If 3 of them land, he gets the bleed through, maybe a drop because of his head health being so low. It's really tough to manage this sort of position. It's when you start getting a little bit scared in that.
Slowing just the pace. The Ducks of Noetta seem to be one of the biggest shots so far, getting the stun early with it. 1:20 left on the clock. But if you're both of these guys, you still want to put on performance. Lovely takedown there, doesn't manage to get it. Kante's defense being fantastic. Put him against the cage where he can, reset himself to the middle, and you've got to imagine that Kante just really is wanting to throw a couple of jabs, find a shot just past that block and get the knockdown that way, just because of the way the block is right now of Noetta's concept.
Yeah, exactly that, man. Just sort of bleed through because his block is absolutely nothing right now. And this is what I mean. He's got his block up, but he needs to be moving his head because he shots like that could be it right here.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh. And Kante was going to probably hope that was it. Yes, he is 2 rounds to the good, but the stamina absolutely gone for Kante. And another big round, another very exciting round as we do go into the 3rd round. And yeah, Kante just looks like he kind of maybe just needs to survive here. And the thing is with Kante as well, he's not a wrestler either, so he's not going to like secure the win. Kante, he's still going to probably come out here and just throw 100 miles per hour, which he does need to be careful of.
Not managing to make the head health blink very early on there, but he's got to be wary. He can't really come in just with a jab straight and hope that he's going to be able to out damage Kante, if anything, purely because of that block, if not because of the lower head health. Although, as I say, there's no evidently he understands that he's got. Yeah. Noetta knows that.
Yeah, he's behind and he needs to do something big, so that's what he's going for. And I like this style because Noetta can counter and he's got good counters sort of going in, even off the pressure, right? So maybe this is the game plan that he needs to sort of implement, is pressure and the pressure up.
For sure, Kante looking like he may be just trying to survive the end of this round, but he does get another big rock and this could be it. But stamina
is so low, block is nothing, like it's so easy for Kante to get a rock right here, man.
The block goes after a jab.
Yeah, literally.
And it's not often you see the block blinking, but a few more strikes off of that block will be blinking in that final round. But stamina very low, 1 counter from Noetta could change everything here, and a big rock from Kante and a big drop.
Oh.
And it's just surviving here. Look, you see Kante wasting a little bit of clock, backing up after all that pressure.
That block is so low, it's now blinking.
It is now blinking. Oh, but a big front kick from Noetta, double uppercut. And a pull counter does. Oh, and a big fight. What a fucking fight. Oh, this could be it. And he don't get the jump. And the game has absolutely robbed him. If Kante loses from here, he will be fuming. And that is it. Fat Kante.
Straight landing, straight down the middle. Kante ruining the head health of the Volkanovski in the red corner, causing chaos across the board. Won the last 2 rounds, knockdowns apiece. 2 knockdown very early on in the first, continuing that momentum into the second, and then that 3rd round was beat Noetta so badly. The Volkanovski block was blinking non-stop, and as Noetta went to do his signature duck to find the counter, straight landed and Kante secured the win.
Secured the win.
Exactly that, man. The block being low was just too much, and I feel like there's a couple of places in that fight, especially when Noetta ducked that head kick and it just didn't work. That sort of played into Kante's favour, especially against the block there as well. But you know, it's a really, really good performance there from Kante. Just played his game plan, knew exactly what to do when he saw that block as well. So, you know, I think that's the fight IQ that we've seen Kante sort of build up, just knowing what game plan he's going to implement in the fight. It's really made him a better player, in my opinion.
So next up, it would have been the Leech versus Kylan, but with just a little of 7 minutes left, we will go into the next 1v1 me fights. Just as we are here, I would like to just see, I've got the feed in front of me, so if you give me a moment. Amori, thanks for the follow. Sam Rigby, thanks for the follow. Man Like MF, thanks for the follow. Lucas, thanks for the follow. Sean Michaels, thanks for the follow. Van Cliff, thanks for the follow. Zane, Battle Quinn, Sean Odd 99, Sophia 372, Real Matteo Bebe, thanks for the follow, and Mix Guy 513. Thank you for the follow. I do appreciate that, guys. If you could keep them coming, we are on the road to 1,000 followers. Make sure you're checking out NUGS AU, guys. They help us sponsor the NEC. If I quickly just swing off this window for a second. So this is the Discord, ladies and gentlemen. If you're interested in fighting, you can come here and you can sign up in the league sign-ups, and you can get a fight on these cards or an unstreamed event. Yeah, and this is the prizes that these guys are paying for, courtesy of NUGS AU. So we will have an event. So you do have the participation medal, and the way this will work, we will have prizes in an envelope, 1 to 9, and then the champion will get 2 picks. The staff member of the season will get a pick. The KO of the season will get a pick. The underdog winner of the season will get a pick. They'll pick an envelope, then I will reveal that envelope on stream, and that will be the prize they will win. So these prizes are all random. Anyone can win them. So even if you are the lowest level, do not worry. You can still win these prizes. So great prizes courtesy of NUGS AU. Big shout out to them. Make sure you're checking them out at nugsau.org. Built by gamers for the gamers. That's the motto. So make sure you're checking them out, because without them, none of this is possible. And obviously, check out 1v1me.com. That's allowing us to stake on some of these fights. So they can win this beautiful golden medal, the participation medal. You can win this beautiful Rocky Funko Pop, which actually looks quite cool. I do want one of them myself. Harry's got the little black eye there. That is a great prize. You can win a £20 Xbox gift card voucher. Very beautiful there. A custom gamer tag nightlight. You got to think to yourself how sick that would look with JKB V1 written on it, or even Concepts with an X. You know.
Trust me, man.
Or just BFAP in general, because BFAP run this shit. No, I'm joking. Totally. But yeah. You can win a Xbox One controller. Please note this is not the colour. Colour may vary. It will be an Xbox One controller of this type, but not sure entirely what colour we can get our hands on. You can win a mystery football shirt. There'll be a mystery from the 22-23 season. You can win a 1-year subscription to the UFC Fight Pass. So that is a year of all the UFC main cards and the prelims. For a whole year. Pretty good. And then obviously all the past events, you can go back and watch back. So that's a great prize, one of my favourite prizes. You can win a UFC signed Conor McGregor glove in an octagon case with a certificate of authenticity. Very great prize, one of the highest prizes, most rated prizes. A lot of people will want to get this their hands on this prize. It's obviously not fight worn, but signed by the Mac Daddy himself. And then we go into probably my favourite prize, which is a UFC 283 poster signed by Glover, signed by Jamali Hill, signed by Figueiredo, Moreno, Paul Craig, Shogun. And this is the official one. It is in Portuguese. A lot of people are saying, why is it in Portuguese? Because it is the official, because this event was in Brazil. So yes, this is a Portuguese poster, sorry. So I do think that just adds to I just think it looks sick. Like, bro, it's in Portuguese, bro. How sick does that look? Duas dispas chitorito. Like, bro, that just looks sick, in my opinion. I'm not too sure if it will be framed, so bear with me on that. I know it's shown framed in image, but not too sure because that is an extra 100. So but this is probably one of the greatest prizes. So remember, anyone can win these, and then obviously you can win a headset, HyperX headset, and a monitor. Not too sure, depending on availability. These will likely be the prizes, but it will be roughly something in this price range of about 300. But these 2 prizes will be awarded via a wheel spin to all active competitors at the end of the season, and to all active staff members. All their names will go on the wheel. We will spin the wheel at the award show, and the winner will take home both of these great prizes, a new curve monitor and a new headset. So big shout out to NUGS AU. Big shout out Axledge as well. Axledge bringing these 2 prizes in. So a big thank you to him. He's a great guy, doing a lot for the community. Also, in the pipeline, we do have a $400 tournament upcoming. So it will be £400, 400 Great British Pound tournament coming up in August, I believe. It will be August. It will be £300 to the winner, £50 for the KO of the night, and 25 for the fight of the night. And that will be the Axledge Invitational, in partnership with NUGS AU and JKB himself. So that is in the pipeline, so do look out for sign-ups to that. So big shout out to NUGS. Check them out, nugsau.org. Built by gamers for the gamers. And we will go into our next 1v1me fight. What do you think of them prizes, gentlemen?
Bro, obviously they're sick, man. Like, I've never seen anything be done like that, especially in like a UFC league, especially with the prizes that you got. So, it's good. Everyone can take part, everyone can compete, and I think that's the best thing about it, is you don't need to be the top dog and be the best player in the game to potentially win something, right? So, it motivates everyone to take part, motivates everyone to compete.
So moving on to our next 1v1me matchup, just under 30 seconds to go for this one, so we will quickly run through it. We do have Kezalar 3-1. His only loss coming in the title fight against Fadanator, a very good competitor. He's shown very good form lately in the VFL and the NEC, just absolutely demolishing everyone. Most notably, his win against Naz. I see someone saying Naz smokes everyone here. Well, not that man there on the left of your screen, Kezalar, because he was the underdog of the year. I thought my underdog against Yerda, the man on the right, was notably, but Naz absolutely sold out, and Keza absolutely starched him inside one round. Beautiful performance from Kezalar, and he will take on tonight. He will take on Yerda, who took a loss against me and then goes and beats Trixie. What do you think about that? Takes a loss against me, arguably one of the lower level guys, and then goes and beats Trixie, arguably one of the GOATs.
Again, sort of with this, it's tough to say, man. When you've got two guys that are sort of high level, they both know what they're doing. In a best of one in a UFC fight, literally anything can happen, right? So it's just something that you come to expect with playing this game. Do you know what I mean?
It is something you expect coming into this game. We will just quickly run through the rules for this fight. So we will run through these rules because there was some controversy in our first 1v1 event. So I will do this every single fight just to make sure you guys are aware of what is going on. All the fights, 3 rounds, no exploits or submissions, any attempt, even a submission attempt. If you lock in a back-sitting RNC, you're disqualified because of the stamp tax on the submission. You shouldn't even be attempting it. And the banned exploits, you can see the banned exploits there. Go on to us quick. All right, Yoda, slow your roll, brother. So yeah, you can see all the exploits there. Any exploits attempted, immediate disqualification. So we will move on to this fight once. I believe it's Yoda 3-2-1, 3-1-2. Yeah, 3-1-2. Yoda 3-1-2. We do have this, and I believe there will be some. I believe that was already in the fight. So
yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, bro, but watch the stream and you'll know when you can go and when you cannot go. So without further ado, these guys are good to go, or we're just waiting for Kezalar to join. So we will swing over to them. We'll swing over to them and check these guys out. And we do see this going at featherweight. Both of these guys opting for the Conor McGregor pick. You do see there a big sparring record between these two. Over 700, I believe, if my maths is correct. Could probably work it out. 741.
730, yeah,
something like that, to be precise. But yeah, so we do see Conor McGregor mirror matches. And did you expect anything less from these gentlemen?
No, not really.
No,
This is kind of their
absolutely
style. Picking McGregor, looking to put on the best striking showcase they can. Both of them very well respected within their own right. And of course, as you mentioned earlier on, tonight Keza did get the win over Naz, and Yerda himself got a win over Trixie, so both of them can show they have beaten top talent before. And here they are, Yerda on the back foot, Yerda pushing forward, trying to get a jab established where he can, and Keza looking like he wants to waste no time in trying to get this fight finished and done with so far.
So, gentlemen, Yerda, both gentlemen sporting white trunks. You can see Yerda with the white tape, the red tape around his gloves, and you see Kezalar with the blue tape wrapped around his gloves. For those guys that don't know, if you do check at the top left and top right, it does briefly show the gamer tags for each competitor if you do get lost and find out. But yeah, Yerda in the red and Keza in the blue, and both of these guys opening up at about 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, man, it's just a huge fight. You know, they've sparred each other so many times, they know what to expect, and it's just going to be a striking battle, in my opinion, this one.
This will very much doubt this one does touch the ground. What is going on? Maybe
maybe a disconnector controller, something like that, maybe for Keza here.
And Keza there does show a bow
Mutual
of respect
man.
for Yerda not finishing him. If that was me in that situation, best believe his head would have been on a stake. So you do need to make sure, gentlemen, that your controller batteries are not flat, you know. So big props to Yerda for getting the respect there. But if he loses this fight, you're going to think that's an opportunity missed. Concept? Are you taking it?
Maybe so.
Are you taking it, Concept? Be serious.
It depends who I'm against, right? If I'm against someone I don't really know too well, I'm taking that all day long. If it's against, a friend of mine, then, I would stay there.
I'm telling you now, bro. BFAT Warbsy, BFAT Trixie, BFAT 30 Days. Any of your controllers die, I'm coming for, in a 1v1 stake matchup, bro. I'm taking your head. A big rock and a big drop for Kezalar. And this could be it. And some nice ground and pound defense keeping Yerda in it. And this one does hit the mat. And maybe Keza, we didn't expect some wrestling. Maybe, yeah. This one does hit the mat.
Very quickly, very slowly. Now goes to the gas up, though does Yerda. I believe maybe not the best idea. Maybe you should look for a reversal. But here we are. Keza up in the round so far. Head health into his favour as well as the knockdown. You got to remember. So
Controller again, bro. Take it. Kill him.
Kill him.
Kill him.
Just fucking kill him.
We're having some slight controller issues from Kezalar. As it seems, he is here back. And, yeah, not entirely too sure what's going on. But Kezalar being up in the round, you got to think that is big for Yerda. But
big for Yerda. And it's happened again, man. I don't know what's going on here.
What is going on? Yerda, just kill the man.
Punters will be screaming at their screens for him to
Anyone that's got a stake on Yerda right now is not happy.
Oh, and a big elbow lands. And maybe at the end of a round will give Keza a chance to reset whatever is happening with his controller.
Well, he's only just managed to avoid getting counted there as he lands a hit.
Controller's bugging for Kez. Not too sure what's going on with Kezalar's controller, but we will see these guys touch up at the start of round 2. And that's the thing in mirror matches, you see Yerda walking backwards, not entirely too sure what compare he is. But Keza doing the most of the work here. Maybe the controller disconnect tactics attack, right? 1v1 the act, thanks for the follow. Oh, and a spin of will kick. Keza is looking really clean, and it's one for Keza. Keza, his form of recent has just been unmatched. I've not seen someone. Oh, but yeah, the commentators curse Yerda coming in with a big drop. But like I say, Keza as well. I always classed Keza, no disrespect, I've always classed Keza as a mid-tier competitor, really. But leaps and bounds have been shown the way he beat Naz and the way he's been beating many other high-level competitors.
In crazy form, especially in NUGS, man.
Especially in NUGS, but he started this fight really well. But Yerda coming back as he did against Trixie.
Exactly that.
A lot of success here so far now, though, with the knockdown into the favour of Yerda.
Oh, but a big slip. Oh, and a will kick.
Oh.
And that could be it.
Oh my god.
And he gets the jump, that could be it.
Yes, knocked down. Now guns.
my God,
Controller
no way.
disconnect.
No way.
Oh my god.
There's no way.
way.
There's no way. Kezalar sold.
If he comes around to lose this here.
Kezalar sold.
I mean, Yerda's head health now is constantly blinking. You saw how deadly that can be in such situations. Trying to land the big shots where he can, but Yerda managing to get knocked down himself. Now looking for the ground and pound finish, goes in the static jars, does get a denied. But back to the feet here, 2 minutes on the clock. Both of these guys hurt badly in all aspects. Can show they can do the damage with Bam McGregor. No leg health damage done, so they're both working at full capacity.
Ooh, big drop there.
Getting closer and closer to a finish as Keza lands.
Throwing combos and another big drop for Keza. Gets a jump, and this time it could be it.
Is it? It's
not
quite.
And Yerda's
Man, if I'm
survived
Yerda
by the
here now, if
aggressive
his controller disconnects again, I'm killing him. It's disconnected too many times.
Yeah, you know, too right and all. Do you know what I mean? But to be fair, punters will probably screaming about that, but you cannot rely on a controller disconnect to win the money at this stage, and the up kick does land, but head health on the brink for both competitors, but Yerda looking like one symbol combination.
One shot will flash him, yeah.
And this one on a knife's edge as we do go to approach the third and final round, and that is it. That is Kezalar, and see what I mean, Kezalar. And you got to respect Yerda, you know, for not taking the advantage there from the disconnects of the controller for Kezalar. I'm pretty sure these two guys are great friends in real life. I'm pretty sure I've seen Keza ringing Yerda's phone a few times and text message exchanges. So yeah, all respect to Yerda for not taking that. That's what you'd expect between two friends. So big respect and a big GG's to Keza. And boys, the man's impressive.
He is, man. He's been taking on everybody, bro. I mean, he's only lost to one guy, right, this whole time, and he's been super impressive in every single one of his fights. He's beat people that people sort of bet against him, right? So very impressive what he's done here.
Yeah, he did. Very impressive performance. I mean, Yerda definitely made a fight and a half there, coming back in all aspects when he could, getting knockdowns of his own, putting on a fight and a half. But again, Keza just continue on the pace, continue on the aggression. Got Yerda's head health lower, and all it took was that one final shot at the end, and that was that.
That was that indeed. So moving backwards, we do have the Leech versus. Can I agree a different weight with my opponent? Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's fine. As long as you both agree, and I see Pabs. If both of you say in the chat, then you can. Yeah, that's fine. As long as I've had it confirmed from both of you, that's fine. So we will go to the Leech versus Kylem. 9 o'clock, I believe, is the next 1v1 me. So we might have to get that out of the way as we hit that time. So we will quickly go with the Leech versus Kylem. What can you guys tell me about these guys? Can you tell me much?
Kylem, I do know him. He's, again, sort of an up-and-coming player, sort of, in that term, sort of similar to Leech there. But, he's very good. He's picked up the skills sort of really quickly. I think he was over in VFL, right, Jakey?
Oh, sorry.
Kylem.
Yeah, Kylem.
You aware?
Yeah.
Sort of a VFL player, really good FIFA player as well. And, those skills sort of translate, especially when you're just a bit of a gamer. So he's picked up the game really quickly and, really is sort of coming into his own. And we all know about the Leech. I mean, who doesn't, right? And especially recently, he's been part of the Fadanator Academy, I believe. So definitely sort of picking up some skills himself as well.
Is indeed. So as we move over, Kylem versus the Leech. The Leech training with some good guys, but Kylem is, like you say, he's I don't know why they just backed out of the lobby there, unable to perform.
Interesting.
Kylem's having different. Oh,
no, restart your game.
Kylem's fucked it.
Restart your game. That is what happened there.
I'll give him a sec.
We can give him a second, see what happens. Moment of shame that.
So yeah, Naz, Pabs, if you want to agree, both just say I confirm in my Twitch chat, and I will see it. But so apparently Kez's wire is broken, so he will need to get that looked at, because any other opponent, someone such as me, would have just took his head clean off there in that situation. I remember it happened to him once in VFL. Me and Sean lob it up. Yeah.
Well, you need to restart your stream then, mate. You are lobbied up.
I think we just move on and come back to this one, because 20 minutes till the next fight. So while these two sort out whatever's going on in that situation, that's fine. We will come back to it. It's no problem. And we will move on to the Mac versus Sonic Sean, as you guys can see after that one, and then the Leech Kylem, and then we will probably go into Suave Jamie, Dirty Dave. So it's Sonic Sean 4 on Twitch, I believe.
I've got 6 ads for Sonic Sean.
Okay, we do have 6 ads for Sonic Sean, so we will watch 6 ads and then we will go into it.
6 ads.
I've actually got no ads, but I don't know how much I trust that. Maybe someone.
Yeah, no, I restarted. I've got
6 ads come on during the fight.
Yeah.
If 6 ads come on during the fight, gents, then we can all just sit and have a big, deep talk about feelings.
Trust me, bro.
We can all talk about feelings.
Pennies from this, bro. Sorry.
Well, I am currently flicking back and forth between Callum, see if their fight is getting lobbied. Callum does seem to have his stream sorted again, so I think they're just going to get lobbied up there.
Anyway, lads, what are you thinking? Quick trim check. Jeez. What are you men saying? Quick trim check.
On to the second ad.
Quick trim check. So yeah, these guys are good to go. On my end, Doc will be maybe a bit delayed, but these guys are good to go. A lot of trash talk between these two gentlemen, The Mac is a guy, he's a character, right? The Mac is a character. We see a 3-0 record there. The Mac is some character, Ego just in bunches, thinks he's the best player to ever grace the UFC series. But he plays the character well. I'm sure it's all maybe like this character he's got going on, but he does play it well. And a lot of trash talk between these two gentlemen about an OWC matchup that they had. And Sonic Sean, he's one that's... He was bursting through, he was telling me he was beating Naz, and then he wanted Naz, he was calling out Naz. Warbsy put him to sleep last week. But yeah, he's sort of one of them guys, a Darren Till is how I'd explain it. Never really fulfilling his potential. I expected big things. I give him a 1v1 me fight. Granted, it was against Dirty Dave, but a long way to go to get back into that win column and start fulfilling his true potential. But
to that fight, I mean,
you know what I mean?
Well, apologies, ladies and gents, for this. Blame Sonic Sean for not having a very good streaming ability to make sure to turn off ads. In future, guys, a nice idea is if you've got a main channel you use for streaming, you've got ads on, just make a separate one and just use that for UFC streaming. Say where all the hassle, or just turn your ads off beforehand. Be lovely.
To be fair, if you're not a partner, then you don't really need to run 6 ads. Do you know what I mean? Like I run ads, but I run 2 15-second ads. At most, you know what I mean? It's 30 seconds worth of ads. I'm getting 6 ads, 30 seconds a piece. You know what I mean?
Okay then. Well, I'm back into the fight, and currently I've just seen McGregor stunned.
Who's McGregor
Body
again?
kick. Yeah.
Is Sean winning?
Huh?
Is Sean winning?
Well, the leg health is slightly down. The stamina's definitely going back and forth, trading across the board so far. They're 2 minutes into the first round so far. Spinning elbow has just happened. Jab straight, get fired down the middle as well. I think this is going to be the audio contest of how this fight's going to go. Trading on both ends. It does seem a very evenly contested fight so far. A lot of not head movement by those Sonic Sean, which I'm kind of shocked by. I was expecting a lot more, but here we are. Jab straight and an uppercut kills the man. Now into the ground and pound position, driving down strikes when he can. Looking for the finish, but the block only just surviving. Mac arguably ahead now in the fight. They're currently on the ground. McGregor looking to transition. He's just spamming transition fakes, but does get reversed by Mr. Sonic Sean. Sonic Sean, previously known as a grappler in some circles, especially in VFL, now looking to go all the way into side control now on top of Mac. Inside control, does get transitioned back into half guard. 30 seconds left on the clock, and the Mac gets a reversal off the ground and pound. Now Sonic Sean on bottom, McGregor on top with his hands, goes into side control, may look disengaged, instead gets the elbow, decides though I'm going to be stuck back into full guard. Are we back yet, JQ? Because I really don't want to keep going.
We are back, Doctor. Thank you very much for that. And we do see on them stats, yeah, we did see that big drop as we seen there. So we didn't miss too much, lads. Doctor walked us through that pretty excellently, if I do say so myself. And we do have the rest of this. But imagine if he hit us with another 6. Feels like I'm listening to the radio in 1936. That's a good one. I like that. Proud of you.
This is even.
Yeah, fairly even though head health is pretty good across the board. Even the stamina is also really good. It's surprisingly even, especially for saying the fight picks, expecting Mac to kind of lead this fight, especially with how much difficulty Sonic has in the past. But the elbow coming out, digs down to that body, jab straight there. Now looking for it. The ducks though, body kicks following. Max struggling to really capitalise on the stun, one would argue, but now leading the front foot forward, looking to put on the pace where he can, but he's not wanting to get too overindulgent in his striking because he knows Sonic Sean can still be a deadly fire as he gets knee to the face in the clinch.
Yeah, and this one does look like it's 100 miles per hour. We do look like we have missed out a lot as both fighters' head health has seemingly taken some damage, but nevertheless, action-packed second round as we are only 1 minute and 30 seconds into it, and all in a big pull counter and lands a straight, dig into that body, and arguably, I think
should just fire a head kick at this point.
That's what I think. And a big slip straight. Concept seems to be in front of us.
The uppercut.
And it could be it. He takes stack, and what's he going to do here? He's going to...
And he gets a deny.
Big deny when he passes over to side control, and that could be big for Sonic Sean in this matchup.
Not managing to get a deny there. Top mount would be a very good position concept. You've got to agree. Side control is also another good option. Deny there allows Sonic Sean to transition to any position he deems, but the Max staying hot on his denies.
He gets a big transition straight into back sitting. And this one, absolutely 100 miles per hour, a little bit of grappling exchanges will slow this one down a bit, but I'm not even too sure. Would you say Mac won the first round with the drop, Doc?
Yeah, he did by the looks of it. Significant strike went into the favour of Fiziev, but the knockdown was close enough in terms of your strikes to definitely give Mac the round. He's definitely one up a piece. Mac trying to now get back ahead on the scorecards. Knockdowns isn't going to help his matters, but if he can get the damage done this round, get a lot of it, maybe he can get a finish. Who knows? He won't need the judges. He just needs to reign his ground and pound, which he is.
And
getting the finish. Half of that fight we did miss, but the action we did see was killer in all amounts. Sonic Sean only adding to his up-and-coming playstyle, showing that he can still do a fantastic striker when and where, but the Mac showing he's just slightly ahead of the game, being able to grapple with the use of McGregor. Impressive skills across the board, good adjustments by both guys, but Mac sneaking out the victory.
Yeah, and an impressive win does put that one to an end, and we will quickly go back. We just have 10 minutes before our final 1v1 matchup, 30 Dave versus Suave Jamie, so we will do this matchup first, and then we will get into that one. We are going to go back to the matchup that sort of never happened, the Leech versus Kylam. Again, another very interesting fight, and because we are on a bit of a tight schedule, we'll just go straight into that one, gentlemen, because yeah, this
Kylam versus Leech.
Let's go. They're ready, man.
Yeah, they're ready. Whittaker being used by both opponents. I was aware Callum does have a scary clown calf. I think I saw earlier, but well, he doesn't want to be using that. 9-6 into the favour of Callum, but it all changes under the big lights. Both of these guys are using the same characters. No stat difference. All are going to be about skill. Whittaker, fantastic recovery, good chin, good cardio. Concept, what is going to be the place and what's going to be the path of victory for either of these two guys here?
Well, they're both strikers, so they're going to look to keep it standing. I don't think either of them's going to, develop a big wrestling game plan. Again, this one's sort of up in the air. If I had to give a slight advantage, I'd give it to Kavilam. Just personally from playing him, right? But it's going to be tricky, I'd say, for both guys here. Leech is known for his sort of slip chain combos.
Yeah, I mean, I do remember seeing the ping jumping from about 90 up to maybe 120. 5 rounds, fantastic. Hopefully it doesn't go that much. If not, one of you bows, front kicks the other to get the win, and you can start to judge scorecards. The stream lagging a bit on my end, not sure about your end, and the general fight seems to be a bit lagging, maybe a couple connection issues so far. Leech, though, the one leading the fight so far, being the one on the front forward, even as we kind of enter into slideshow to not slideshow mode right now.
Very, very laggy. Indeed, it might be a case of
no contest.
Yeah, just a no contest.
I mean, this isn't concept versus Trixie type level of viewing.
Do you remember
but
what was that?
It's just a lag, man.
But it does, it's very much hindering their ability. Although, as you say that, Leech managing to do it, now digging down to that body as well. Leech trying to find the opening when he can again. Got that stun already. That's going to give him some confidence as he engages in that 3-piece. Spinning elbow there, also fires out. It's definitely going to be, feels like Leech could lead this fight quite well, but the lag's going to be one of the major factors here, I feel like.
Lag will be a major factor, and it's very unfortunate that this fight is lagging. Again, we've seen these guys competing in other fights, like I played Leech earlier. It was
these guys are steady ping. That's the word. I paid both of them. Like, they do have good ping. Apparently, apparently, together, it's a bit of a questionable nature as a slip hook lands there quite nicely. Side kick does get ditched on. The uppercut landing there again by Leech. Goes for the judo toss, doesn't manage it per se, but now 2 minutes left on the clock. Got to imagine Leech is easily winning this fight. He's just having a bit of a difficulty, but so is Callum. Like, he could be playing completely differently if it wasn't for this lag here concept.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Okay.
And there we go. We'll take that.
Massive change in pace.
A massive change in pace indeed.
Crazy,
and a pull counter. And that's what I like to say to these guys, going into that fight there against Anime earlier, I was a big heavy favourite on 1v1 me. I was staked largely, almost sold out. You'd stake like 100 to win like 120. And a lot of guys... so you got to think a fight can just end like that at any point. Look, you see there, he pulls it, max vulnerability, head kick lands, and that's it. Game over. That's all she wrote. But high lag. So we'll look at the result of that fight. Usually we award the winner with it, and the opponent doesn't get a loss. That's what we've done for previous fights. That's what we've done sometimes. So it will be reviewed. We will look at it. Not too sure how that one will work. But yeah, so we will move on. Naz, unfortunately, you got to wait, brother. Unlucky, mate, because we're going into 1v1 me, so they can all wait for Naz again.
Who's up next then? On tonight's card?
It will be Suave Jamie and Dirty Dave.
A fight that's going to be interesting. Jamie, known for him being a former champion of ESFL, notorious in all aspects. for champion. If you don't know the Suave Jamie, you will do quite soon. This man can grapple. This man can put on the pressure. This man can do anything, anywhere, anytime, any place. Dave is very similar, though. Coming onto the scene a bit later, he's part of the BFAP camp like Jakey. He's a grappler at heart. He is yet to go over to the striking side fully, but when Dave does become a pure striker, that is when things get very scary, because this man is a robot. He will analyse every move, he'll make every adjustment that's needed, and he will find a path to victory in every which way. Both this is going to be a tough composition, bit on the high side for Ping, but typically what you get for Americans shouldn't be too bad, shouldn't be as bad as the last fight, as we've seen concept. But with Robert Whittaker being used by Suave Jamie and Marvin Vittori by Dirty Dave, how do you see this fight going?
I mean, both classic picks from Dave and from Jamie here, isn't it? He's known for his Rob Whittaker, and especially Dave, his his profile picture made me laugh. Especially Dave, that Marvin Vittori pick is what he's known for as well. It's a tough one. It's a tough one to say. Jamie's just a veteran. He's been everywhere, man, every single time. So I honestly I couldn't pick right now, to be honest.
Well, going into the stakes, Suave Jamie a heavy favourite on the stakes, but you do have to mention the ESFL bout these guys did have a few months back, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, where Jamie won a split decision against Dirty Dave. A lot of people would say Dirty Dave won that one. Myself would say Dirty Dave won that. So Naz will be next. Chill out. But it will be Robert Whittaker versus Dirty Dave's Vittori, and Dave does like this Vittori pick at this weight class. It's not very. It's not very his a meta pick as such, but he's very good with it. I've seen him get wins on guys like Yerda, top level guys. I'm unsure of the weight class they fought at in the ESFL when Jamie won that split decision, but it was a close fight nonetheless. But yeah, Suave Jamie heading into this one a massive favourite on the books, and we just have 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. So when all the 1v1 me guys start tuning in for this one, I will quickly go over the rule set here, but do you see a path to victory against the notorious Suave Jamie concept?
I definitely do. I mean, in comp he's something of a different animal. He knows how to secure a win, but I would say Dave's the same in sort of that aspect. The ping sort of cancels out a lot of the grappling of Jamie, and Dave knows his way around the ground for sure, right? He knows how to counter certain things. He knows how to get out of positions, and I'd say Jamie's grappling is really sort of what makes him, one of the best on the game. So feel like it's going to be a classic case of like two wrestlers come against each other, they sort of strike. Do you know what I mean? Be like Usman versus Colby here. So either of them could win, but I'd have to back Jamie personally.
You have to back Jamie personally. I think Dirty Dave, an underdog here, is a very good price. Dirty Dave from that BFAP camp, such as myself. I've seen him dig deep and get it done before. Ping only sitting at 130, a bit lower than what mine and Anime was at. A bit lower than some of the 160s you see. So it will be that will be a bit interesting. These two guys have fought a lot of times in competition. They fought at ESFL Vegas, things like that. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting match. Very, very high level fight. I like how Dave, one of them guys as well, how he does prep a lot and he has a very good understanding of the game. And, fighting Jamie more and more will sort of help him find his tips and tricks into a path to victory. But yeah, Suave Jamie, very, very dominant in the UFC 4 scene. Arguably the best to ever do it. Dirty Dave streamers just dropped and come back. But yeah, arguably the best to ever do it. Put on an absolute clinic against Naz UFC. Another guy that beat him, by the way, chaps. Yeah, so the man on the left.
Both of these guys are good in all aspects of the game. Hopefully they ready up soon.
We've got to wait for the deadline.
Oh,
8
okay,
o'clock,
fair enough.
9 o'clock, sorry.
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock.
Why does Dave look evil in his profile picture?
Look, I asked these guys to send me a photo, and that's what he sent me. So we're not going to monitor it too much. But he's a menace.
I've seen pictures of him with his middle fingers up. Like, that's fine. That he looks normal there. He looks like he's going to be a serial killer.
So
I'm a bit concerned.
Quickly run over the rules, gentlemen. All the fights will be 3 rounds accelerated clock for these NEC fights and these 1v1 fights, just so you are aware. There are the banned submissions, the banned exploits, but these two guys, top of the game, top of the dog pile, don't really see this sort of come in between them today. You know, you don't really see these guys exploiting and to get the upper hand. You know, both very clean fighters, both got a very good reputation and things like that. So, yeah, any use of third-party software will result in immediate ban, but any exploits, no matter how accidental, will result in a disqualification. To keep it fair, no rematches, nothing. Yeah, so please bear that in mind. The stakes have closed, so we will go over to our final matchup of the evening for the 1v1 side of things, and then we will finish the NEC 5 card off, and it will be Suave Jamie taking on Dirty Dave.
That, man, I'm excited for this fight, bro.
Well, the 9 o'clock mark has begun.
Stream quality looks arse, bro. Man said 360p. Are you good?
360p.
Bruv, Dave's running at 360, bro. What is going on, Dave?
That's sauce, bro.
What's going on, Dave? So we do see a record of 40 and 15 through Suave Jamie. So Suave Jamie, arguably the more dominant fighter in them fights. But, you know, Dirty Dave, no slouch, can get a job done. Very, very close fight. Higher stakes was on the line in the ESFL final. And Suave Jamie did edge it, you know, just by a tiny margin. If Dirty Dave did get that win, DFAP would have took home the ESFL championship. But, yeah, these two kick off. It's going to be very interesting to see if Jamie just pressures Dirty Dave off the back.
That's what Jamie's known for, though, man. It's just that pressure, just not letting you sleep. He's got good mix-up with his combos, of course, right? So it's going to be tough.
So they do open up. Jamie just pressuring Dave off the back, which you would expect, you know, with the Vittori pick, you know, and a big uppercut lands there from Dirty Dave. Did see Dirty Dave last week look very dominant against Frosty before Frosty just done the same sort of technique. Oh, and a big drop from Suave Jamie. Drops Dirty Dave straight up against the cage, and head health looking really the worse for wear, and Dirty Dave may be looking like he's going to need one of them beautiful comebacks already.
Hooks are coming out there as well. Both these guys wanting to engage in all aspects that they can. Trading shots at the best points now. You're getting a bit of that distance, causing that teep just to push away, but so far these two keeping it very close.
Gets it well.
And a beautiful sprawl from Suave Jamie. Dirty Dave letting him have that, but Dirty Dave will take some of this sprawl damage to look for an opening, but it does look like Suave Jamie will just sit here and wait for the reset back to the feet. But Dirty Dave can get some body damage off here, which he will not be too shy about. But big denial and maybe a transition here. And a big denial from Suave Jamie to keep him in sprawl. But I don't know about the denials. Denials don't reset clock, do they?
I think they extend it a little bit, you know.
And a big stat get up here from
Denials,
Suave Jamie up against the cage. And Dirty Dave, you know, we see Suave with a very, very, very good start, but Dirty Dave doing a little bit better. You know, he got a bit of body damage off there and he's landed some shots a long way back into this fight, but by no means out of his grasp.
And Vittori's notorious for his chin as well, isn't he? So he's got that extra chin stat as well, helping him out.
Oh, a big hook landed there by Dirty Dave.
Lead hook, right, is on takedown attempt, charges forward, does get denied though, and now working that body does. Jamie digs to that head, digs down to the body, following short. Again, both these guys they know the style they want to fight, and they know the fight they want to put on there, but the execution is going to be what really is going to make or break their entire game plan here. And so far, I feel like Jamie's having a better execution, but only by a minuscule amount, and purely by the fact he's the one leading the pressure more than anything else.
Yeah, indeed. And the only thing with Dave, I feel, is Dave, he's very passive in his approach. You know, you know, he'll look to be very calm. You know, not give the opponent much. Whereas me here, I'm trying to slip straight head kick him. I'm trying to get some flash KO. You know, like, you need a way back in this fight, and I feel like trying to outbox him from this position that your head helps in is going to be tough. You know, he needs to secure this round and get back to square one for the final. But big front kick lands there for Dirty Dave to open up this second round, and a big rock from Suave.
Jamie, just going to put the pressure on him now. Backed up against the cage, not where you want to be. especially against a guy like Jamie, man. Didn't they?
And Suave Jamie indeed putting the pressure on Dirty Dave, and Dirty Dave's head health blinking as soon as the punch lands. Double hooks off the block, but a big pull counter, and all Dirty Dave catches him. But thanks for the follow cover, bro. Yeah, and like I was saying, Dirty Dave does love a leg kick, but Jamie just putting that pressure on, trying to nullify the game, even forced the pressure out from Dirty Dave, forced the shot out of him, you know, typical striker versus wrestler, kind of like what McGregor did to Khabib, but as you know, on this game at this level, hitting a takedown on Suave Jamie is not the easiest of tasks, you know.
Absolutely not. It's always tricky, man, and Jamie just knows exactly what to do sort of on the ground, especially against Dave, so it's a lot of his offense sort of nullified there, you know, and just the pressure is just too much.
And that could be it. That's over.
No, yeah, it's over, Jesus.
And it is over. Suave Jamie looking absolutely dominant again in that fight. That will be 2 stake matchups for him, 2 wins. Naz and Dirty Dave, some good scalps to take. Commiserations to Dirty Dave with that Marvin Vittori pick. Was very tough for him, but Suave Jamie getting the job done and looking very dominant doing it.
Exactly, man. Tough, bro. Especially against a guy like Jamie. You know, just pressure was just too much for him in the end. Let himself get backed up a little bit too easily. It's tough to see.
It is tough to see. Commiserations to Dirty Dave. Still love your boy, but tonight is Suave Jamie's night. Very solid competitor. And yeah, maybe JTB versus Suave Jamie. That Kezalar undefeated as well. There's some good matchups there in the future. Not too sure that one will pan out. But yeah, we will move on. Congratulations to Suave Jamie. But Dirty Dave, as we know, will be back to the drawing board and claiming some big wins of his own. So moving on, we will head back to the fight card, as that does bring us to a close of our 1v1 me. Thanks for all the guys for tuning in. If you're interested, if you liked what you're seeing, make sure you drop a follow. You can join the Discord. I'll just pop that in there for you now.
Exactly, man. Take part. That's all that you can really do, right? Even if you don't back your skills too much, you know, there's plenty of competitors, plenty of people sort of signing up every week of all different skill ranges, and you're always in to win a prize. And you know, that's exactly what Jakey said earlier. Fight for the prizes. Maybe even get yourself on a 1v1 me card sort of with that as well. So it's always worth your time. Like I say, take part, take a look at the league, and just sort of have a conversation with everyone in there as well.
Yeah, definitely. Come in, get to know the competitors. If you are interested to see their rankings before you place your stakes, you can head over to nugsau.org, press events, head to the UFC section, and you can find the rankings of all these fighters, their previous fights and where they are. And you can even find the results of all the 1v1 me fights too. So as that ends our 1v1 me card, we have Jakey versus Anime Expert. Jakey does claim that win there. Myself, 3-0, baby. I'm the GOAT. Anyway, moving on. Warbsy versus Kemure. Warbsy gets that one done in a thrilling battle between them two gentlemen. Yerda Kezalar with some connectivity issues. Yerda spared him, but that did pay dearly for that, as Kezalar yet makes another underdog win in beating Yerda. So very impressive there. And as you just saw, Suave Jamie defeating Dirty Dave, a lot less controversial than the first time these two matched up in the ESFL. So moving on, we will go to Pabs versus Naz UFC. Great fight, gentlemen. What do you think about this?
Yeah, this is said. I was going to say this is going to be my fight of the night, man. Paps has really slept on in the community. I feel like he's got really high level striking. You know, can defensively grapple, and Naz is very well known, right? Got a lot of fans sort of backing him, sort of behind him there as well. And you know, he's very clean all aspects of the game. He can strike, his grappling. Of course, everyone knows about that. So it's going to be a tough fight, but I think this is going to be a banger personally.
Yeah, both of them well versed in all aspects of the game. Imagine this is going to be stay on the feet. By the looks of it, it's going to be McGregor v McGregor. Perhaps definitely able to be competitive within the striking realm, so that's something to take note of here. Perhaps I'd be one of the best strikers about, to be honest. Like,
honestly, bro, he's really slept on. People don't know, right? But he's a high level striker, and yeah, honestly, if I had to say, he's definitely up there in the game for me as well.
So
yeah,
we
might
do
be
have
seeing a couple of Naz tricks maybe for the win here, but they've both chosen McGregor, which is a little bit surprising to me. I thought Naz might implement more of a grappling style
Very interesting. Naz 2-2. Pabs making his NEC debut here. Naz coming off the back of 2 losses on a spin that does make Pabs eligible for this fight. Great fight, and yeah, Naz. I feel like Naz has got a lot of pressure on this fight, right? You know, no easy matchups he's had. You know, he's had Kezar, which lost. Suave, not Suave, sorry. Who did he lose to? Yeah, Suave Jamie, and then now he's fighting Pabs. So no easy matchups, but I feel like, you know, Naz is a guy you don't really see with a negative record. You know, very high level, great competitor. So it's going to be very interesting. A lot of pressure, even though it's not a 1v1 fight. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on Naz to get this job done. As a lot of his fans in the building.
Exactly that, man. But, you know, like I say, Pab's doing good work sort of early, especially to the body sort of here as well. So Naz hasn't taken any easy matchups at all so far, right? So when you see a negative record, you might think, oh, you know, negative lead, but, you know, he's fought some real killers in there, so tough to say. But it's good to see Pab's doing some good work early, body, head.
He has indeed.
A lot of body work being done so far, though, by Paps. He's playing on this outside game, peppering and looking for the lunges when he can, just to get out of the way of it. Now's trying to put on the pressure, try to trade with the damage, but so far, perhaps saying very elusive, using McGregor how you would want to be using him if you're using him as defensive striker instead of the typical aggressive counter striker. And the use of the footwork, everything combined together, is currently leading Paps to being able to win this fight.
Oh, and a big drop from Pabs. And it's
Telling you, man, this guy's a killer, bro. No one vouches for me. Look at him.
He is a killer indeed, and you just got to think. I feel like when Naz gets into these higher stake matchups, his style changed, and he dropped again by Pabs, and his style definitely does change a lot. You know, like usually you see him with that elusive style, you know, always ripping the body and going crazy. But you know, when he comes up against these higher guys, he plays a bit more passive, and I feel like that's not really the key to his success here. I feel like he needs to get off them highlight reel finishes that he's known for, because that's when he looks at his best. And another big drop from Pabs. Oh, and Pabs looking clean as he gets out of the way of that pull, pulls his pull and doesn't fire back. But you got to think Pabs on the close to getting a very big win in his debut against NAS UFC. Not many can say that.
Still early to say, man, especially with the power of Conor McGregor, but he's looking very good, man. Just, you know, working his game plan so well. He went to the body, made him think about it, making him miss, like, look at the stamina disadvantage. That's already.
And another drop, and it gets the jump. And this could be it with 8 seconds left on the clock, and the ground and pound defense holding up well, but head health looking worse for wear, as Pab has an absolutely beautiful first round and looking to continue in the second. Do you see Naz getting away back here from that?
I mean, like I say, if you can take it to the ground, that's sort of a bit more of Naz's world a little bit, right? But that's why I was a bit shocked with the Conor McGregor pick, really, there for him. But you know, it's never too late to say anything. We've seen crazier things happen sort of in this game, but Abs just has an advantage everywhere at the moment, man.
He does indeed. Doc, what do you think? Do you think Naz
it's
can
just
find
a
way back?
case of Naz is definitely walking into the shots as they trade. That Naz is very much as the elusive style that Naz is known for within most of his fights is not really the case. He's walking forward, he's wanting to trade, and perhaps is elusive enough, he's got the footwork, and he knows the right shots to fire at the right time. And that's just the level of when you get to this level, when you want to fight at the best of the best, is the striking becomes a different kettle of fish, and Paps is showing that, and Naz is trying his best here, coming forward when he can, trying to find those big counters. But so far, Paps is leading the fight, even on the back foot, but I think he does need quite a bit of distance here, trying to recenter himself, because it does look like Naz is really putting the pace as he gets a stun.
You rate it, I'll rate the balls for it. You know, he knows that he needs a finish.
He has to, man.
Well, we don't need a finish, but he knows he needs something big here, and he's absolutely just thrown the gas tank into that one. So big props for that. But Pab surviving very well technical defensively, but he's kind of letting Naz get back into this with the head health. Commentators.
Oh, as you say that. Yeah.
He's just, like I say, sort of playing defensively, letting him, like, sort of sitting on the counter a little bit, even letting Naz sort of back him up because he sort of backs his skills to maybe slip and sort of get out of there, you know?
He doesn't want to force a counter to happen. He doesn't want to be caught at the wrong moment of the counter. He wants to know what to expect, and by doing it, he's able to let Naz fire first. He knows what counter he's going to fire, and then from that he can also know what counter Naz will fire. That's kind of the way it's gone with the pullbacks now. Naz head health is shot with the block. Not even the block, just his stam and his head health itself is shot. And so, if Pav wants to do, he can start coming forward on the front foot and then start finding home to his shots. And just a single shot will work beautifully here as he lands the lead rear hook.
And what you got to think to yourself, yeah. I play Naz a lot, right? And when we play, yeah, every time it's a pull counter, Naz digs to the body, right? And then when you pull the pull, he gets that body rock like almost every time. And I've not seen that once from him this evening. So you got to ask yourself like, what is really going on with Naz? When you do see there, Pabs,
That's it. That's the boy.
That's the boy. That is he DB?
Kind of
DB, kind of KM. He's a bit of everything, but we do love him nonetheless. Pabs with a beautiful victory over Naz UFC, and Naz just didn't look like himself for me in there. Don't know if it was nerves, pressure of needing to get a win there, but yeah.
You know, you mentioned sort of digging to the body, and you know, sort of like I say, he does that off the pull counter. But the thing is, sort of, he didn't do it off his own counters, if you know what I mean, Jake. He might sort of pull back, and then on the third pull, he'll sort of dig to the body. But Paps wasn't sat there sort of trading with them in those sort of pull exchanges. Do you know what I mean? Didn't make it a full fight. Felt like he knew sort of a pull knee was coming. So it's a smart game plan, and yeah, overall just a really good performance from Paps, man.
Very good performance. Not easy job to beat Naz UFC, but he does it there, looking like with relative ease. And we do move on to our next fight. That will be the Lag King Supreme Easy Work GG versus his own campmate Slink, who took this fight on short notice. So this is going to be an interesting one. If we do get a stream link for these two gentlemen, we can get underway. And then we have just 3 more events. And I would like to quickly talk about the co-main event, Webbo versus Lilo. So Webbo's been on a tear. He is 4-0. And if he wins, he will earn himself a shot at the winner of Fadanator, FrostyMMA.
Crazy, man.
It's crazy, but you got to think Lilo's no easy task. But what do you think about Webbo going for gold? Do you think he can get it done?
Maybe, man. Maybe. I mean, if you can get past Lilo, I could see it happening, right? Webbo's known, he's got a bit of a trucky style. He'll use every tool that's sort of in the box, really. Or sort of, you know, use every tool that he can, really, to sort of get the win. So I could potentially see him getting past Lilo here today, right? But, you know, when you're coming up against either, you know, Fadanator, the winner of Frosty versus Fadanator, that's when it starts getting a little bit more tricky for the guy, you know?
Yeah. No, both these guys are well versed. I mean, Lilo and Webbo especially, those two know the game and the story of how it goes. Webbo, known for his kind of style where he was going to cause havoc and drive you up the wall. Lilo, known for his pressure, part of the game camp. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. So, one fight across the board. Up next, so we're going into this Slick versus Easy Work. These two are, I think, apparently campmates.
It's in the thing. Yeah, they are both part of Regicide, I believe they're called. A new camp coming up. They've got a good sparring Discord. Check them out. We have been in talks of running a Regicide tournament over here on the NUGS channel as well. So keep your eyes out for that. So they are 2 of Regicide's own going head to head. A new camp trying to make their name on the scene. G-Rup Slink and Easy Work GG. Easy Work known for a bit of his lag, and this is his final chance, gentlemen. I see the ping spiking.
You see the ping jumping already, right?
The ping jumping already. You see a few spars between these two gentlemen. If there is lag issues, Easy Work GG will be suspended until he can afford himself a TP link or something or other. But nevertheless, we will get into this one. And are you expecting lag, gentlemen?
Oh, find out in a second.
Yeah, probably.
Well, Peter Yan will be being used by Easy Work in the red corner. Rob Font in the blue being used up by Mr. Gear Up Slink. These two are gonna arguably have a wild time. Yan will want to come forward, put in place as much as he can. Rob Font, on the other hand, you probably want to be keeping it on the distance, using his length to the best of his ability.
Rob Font's a really good pickup bantamweight now, man.
No need for an intake check, because the guy that used to play for Slink is Easy Work.
Trust.
So yeah. So you will see Slink maybe not to his best of his abilities, but yeah, campmates nevertheless. So no integ check needed. But the connection holding up. It's not looking too bad. Positive. But yeah, back to that Rob Font pick. Very good pick. Very underrated pick. If he had a little bit of a power buff, he would be a solid pick. But then 5-star boxing combos, he also has the same perk. I forget what it's
Force
called.
of Nature.
Yeah, he does have Force of Nature as well as a Peter Yarn. So yeah, he could definitely get it done with this pick. I know a lot of guys do like this pick, just obviously Peter Yarn, the more well versed in the grappling, is why most people would use him. But big lunge there from Slink, and
Ooh, another big lunge there.
another big lunge.
Slink's looking somewhat decent here. I mean, he's just sort of lunging out the way of some of these strikes. A lot of them coming straight down the pipe, right? So, looking good, getting some damage off. But Peter Yarn's just got that equalizer, doesn't he? It's just the power that comes out of his fist. So.
And Slink lunging all about this place. But easy work GG, you know, he upsets me, man, because his net is so bad, but I feel like he's decent, you know. He's a bit cheesy, like he spams like weird side steps, and he's a bit of a bobbleheader and stuff, but overall he's a pretty solid competitor, you know.
He's a good player.
He's only lost to Suave Jamie at the moment in the league, and he's looked really clean. He put Winter out in about 30 seconds or something. But yeah, good competitor. If he could sort his net out, he could definitely be.
Slink's doing some good work here, though, man.
Yeah,
I can't lie.
I feel like Slink's the one really. I mean, as I've said, like the stream deciders want to just randomly stop there. That's always fun in my books. But both of them staying fairly competitive. I feel like in some cases Font is winning the fight, but both of these competitors I feel like are waiting for that one big stun. Somehow jumps completely out of the way, which is a bit of a shock.
He's a bit AIDS to play, but nevertheless, good competitor. But Slink doing very good work here. But you even see their head health still evenly matched. That just does show you that Peter Yarn does just hit like an absolute truck with the same sort of boxing combos and stuff. Does Yarn have 5-star boxing combos, lads?
I don't think he's got 5-star combos. I know he's got kickboxing combos as well, which is what makes him really annoying to play.
Oh,
Slink getting out the way again. Wow, man.
And easy work GG. Gas.
He actually is. Bro, I've never seen Slink fight like this.
Maybe intake check was needed.
Maybe an intake check was needed, bro. I've never seen him fight this good.
But against his own camp,
He's fighting clean. Maybe he's just levels, bro.
Maybe he was just levels. Maybe he was playing on easy work to cap. Thoughts? What's the thoughts on that conspiracy, lads? Thoughts? But we do see an advantage in spar record from these two. But yeah, great from Slink. But campmates, you know, you sort of. I feel like when you're fighting campmates, it takes the pressure off, you know, because you don't really necessarily need to win because the bragging rights. Because at the end of the day, a Regicide member will win this fight. Chunkus Maximus with a sub at tier 1 for 2 months in a row. That's gang. We appreciate that a lot, my brother. But yeah, loads of subs coming this month. I appreciate all you guys. You're all beautiful people. But yeah, back to this fight. But even their head health as well, still, even though a great first round for Slink. And this, do you know what, yeah? I'm going to tell you now. When I play OWC and I play this easy work fella, I absolutely batter him every time. And then he does that. And he does that exactly, and a big uppercut that gets him back into this fight, and then look at a big judo toss on the first takedown attempt. He is a judo toss, and that was beautiful. Usually they're pretty, like I've hit a lot of judo tosses in my time, but they're usually against someone you know that's going to spam takedown. Do you know what I mean? Like I've hit him against Nightfalls, Z3 CP. On the first takedown attempt to manage that, that's very impressive.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's tough, bro. It's tough to pull it out. It's rare in a comp set, but Slink's looking good. He got the deny there. That's the kind of time that you want to sort of try and see if you can get into half guard. When their stamina's lower, makes it a lot harder for them, even if they are potentially hood watching. So, little tip for you there.
And a nice posture up from easy work GG, and we're seeing posture out straight into half guard. Impressive, and they will look like. What do you think about wrestling campmates concept?
I mean, if you're a wrestler and you do it normally, right, fair, go for your game plan. But you know, personally, I'm not a really fan of sitting there wrestling. So.
What about you, Doc? I know you're a wrestling fan. Would you wrestle your campmates?
Yeah, fuck him. If it's a leg fight, you're getting taken down. That's just the way. It's a leg fight. Like, you can be campmates all you want. What I don't get is people who are like campmates who get booked in a league. Like, they sign up for a league, they want to be competitive, they want to go for this title, and so on. And go, no, I don't want to fight my teammate. Like, get over yourself. It's a game. Like, you're not. Like, Morale versus Aljo. Fantastic fight, but they're not going to fight each other with teammates, and they're dickheads for it. Like, simple as.
Yeah, me and Dirty Dave have had many competitive fights, and I think only one of them we've mutually agreed to keep it stand-up only, you know, because I like, you know what I mean, I don't feel like Dirty Dave's a wrestler, it's like the best part of his game, so I don't really feel like I want him to give me that sort of advantage, you know what I mean, like we fight for titles all the time, and you know, I'll let him wrestle me, even though I just say, like, if you want to, like, we always have the conversation, what should we do, but it always just ends up, let's just give it whatever it is, and let's try sort of thing, you know?
Fucking fight.
Yeah, that's it.
Which is what these two guys are doing on that, man. Like, they're going
fight.
back and forth, they've got stuns. I mean, we were saying about how easy work was the guy who's probably the better fighter out of these two, but his leg is a bit kicked in, he's struggling in some areas. I feel like Font can lead this fight if he wants to, but it's very much back and forth. They're having a fun time, and like they're causing a bit of chaos with each other.
Exactly, man. And Font's a tricky pick. Like, you really need to be cautious of not taking too much damage, especially against Jan. He's probably got the Force of Nature pick sort of in play now after that drop that you can see on your screen. And you know, you kind of need to be a bit more elusive, which what he is sort of doing, targeting the body, targeting the stamina, and targeting the leg. But you just need to not take any more headshots here, you know.
And a bow of
Like that,
respect,
wow.
and he gets a jump, full sense of security. Add this 1-1, and it's over. Oh, and he survived.
My God, man, he's got no health.
Oh, he's just surviving by the skin of his teeth. But here we go. Now on the ground, could definitely change pace at all, but instead, does stand up as you mentioned. Now, a long time to work up here. Both of these guys have been going at it since, and they're badly battered from it. Their gas tanks, though, still fairly high, so they can definitely swing for their heals if they wanted to.
Ooh. Appreciate that, Shay. If you like what you see, drop a follow, bro. I always grapple JKB in league fights. You always get grappled in league fights, bro. That's all I ever see, bro, is you get grappled, and it upsets me, it breaks my heart.
Well, we wondered earlier why there weren't as many balls making up for lost time here.
Appreciate that, Shay, bro. Welcome to the family, bro.
That bears watching. That's going to hurt this opponent.
Oof.
If you're interested in the community, you want to see more of this,
Nah, man.
jump in, bro.
Big drop there for easy work.
You're welcome. Big drop, and I get out back to the feet to Slink, and like I said, you know, even after that good first round, this is what easy work GG does. He stays in fights, you know. He fought Suave Jamie. Suave Jamie even vouched for this and said he's good. Do you know what I mean? So getting compliments off Suave Jamie is hard to come by. So definitely some big boots to fill. Another guy. It reminds me of like Fadanator. Obviously not as good as Fadanator, but do you know how Fadanator is just so like impossible to finish?
Yeah,
Do you know
I get what you mean.
Like, he just stays in a fight, and there's a big leg roll and a big leg drop.
Double drop.
Which influences everyone.
And now it's just going to be so hard for Slink to like get that rock. He's already got low power. You've got pure yarn force of nature, and you've got that damage reduction from the leg damage.
Oh,
as well.
okay.
Oh my God.
I thought he was going for a giddy there, to be quite honest.
He must play
But
with
okay.
claw, right? He plays with claw grip. For sure,
Maybe.
this man plays with claw grip.
Maybe he's just pre-denying early, man.
What? 2 takedown shots,
great.
both judo tossed.
Yeah, all you
Yeah,
got to do is hold RB though, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's on a pre-deny though. That's the issue. Like the timing of it is ridiculous.
He's just holding RB with his low block there.
Unless he's working with teammate going, okay, I'm gonna shoot now. Shoot. Like, unless you're doing that.
Up. This position dangerous as he rolls him into side control, half guard. I will remind you, gentlemen, that a KO when he's only a decision when he's only 1 point.
So you want to get the finish
Well,
here.
we're going round and round in circles here, and I think they're both trying to get for the finish, but the issue is they just want to do roly-polies, and now finally Font getting on top. Yes, it's denying side control,
Side
but
control.
now start landing these elbows, but back to the feet with 7 seconds left in the rock.
Only 1 point, it seems, from these gentlemen.
Oh,
Oh,
nearly.
Imagine if he
That's
flashed
what
him.
I mean.
Nearly.
Imagine if he flashed him. My
Power
scorecard,
reduction.
gentlemen. 2-1 Jan.
2-1 Jan, yeah.
Probably that, bro.
Probably that indeed. We will wait for the announcement from who? Big Dan? Is it Big Dan? Herb thing? Herb thing.
In my opinion, a great performance tonight by this young fighter.
The official decision is now in and resides with Bruce Buffer.
We go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All three judges score the contest 29-28. Declaring the winner by unanimous decision.
And the survey goes
Yeah.
to
That's a
Peter
yard.
Yan, taking the win.
29,
Fantastic
28.
job by both of these guys, putting on a performance and a half. Easy work though, managing to take the decision there. Fun fight all around.
Very fun fight, and big props to Easy Work GG. Wasn't very laggy from what we've seen, but yeah, big props for coming back into that fight after dropping the first round and looking very dominant in doing so. Commiseration to Slink, but I'm sure we'll be back taking that on short notice. So up next, Tricky Swifts, BFAT Trixie, the primetime GOAT, whatever you want to call him. He is up next, and he is taking on
The
Getting
man,
Sparked.
the myth, the legend, BFAT Trixie, notorious at all sides of his game, brilliantly tan, brilliant leg kicks, and grapple when needed. He's a man of very few words, but a man who once entering the octagon will look to take your head off, whether that's through the means of round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or a decision victory. The man's best round is the second round, so expect that to be where he starts to come out of his shell and really put on the pace. Getting Spark, though, a man who showed progress across the board. He's very good everywhere, and although he's definitely the underdog and it's a tough fight for him, he can definitely still get it done.
He can indeed, but Trixie no easy task. Tricky Swifts sporting a 19-7 record on there, and that's quite a good few wins, I'd say, against someone like Trixie. What do you think?
Yeah, man, it is. Trixie's a really tough competitor, so you know that you can get a win. It gives you a bit more confidence, even if you feel like he is sort of the underdog, sort of going into the fight, right? He's won before, so he knows that he can sort of get a win in there against him. So it's gonna be interesting to see, but you'd have to favour Trixie here. He's been there, done it all.
Going to be interesting to see it all. We see
Dustin Poirier versus
Dustin
Dustin Poirier. Yeah.
What do you think of the no mirror match rules, gents?
I think it's the best way to go about it, to be honest.
What, no mirror matches? I
Yeah,
like
mirror
no
matches.
mirror matches. Well, the only issue is people like Yan. That's
That's
the
what
big
I mean,
issue.
though. There's so many weight classes where there is just one OP player, right? And if you
I
have
mean,
like a
that's
ban
what
rule, then
Whittaker,
Robert Whittaker gets banned.
yeah.
No one plays him, you know?
Yeah, it's a rough one. I just wish this game had the UFC 3's type style grading system, to be honest. It'd make life a lot easier in my opinion.
It would be indeed. Graded fighters would be fun, and I feel like the UFC could implement like in these games, like fighters should be stronger suited to where they go. Like if Khabib takes you down, like you should be able to like really struggle to get back up. Whereas like a top level player could just easily out grapple Khabib with Conor. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like it makes it very unrealistic. I feel like even a submission game as well, like like maybe an RNC, but yeah, if you're Damian Maia. Do you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah, but they had that with the gate system on UFC.
Yeah, exactly.
They
Going
took
back to what you were
away.
saying about the gate
Like
system.
Damian Maia, although it was impossible to get to backsitting, he had a level 2. I think his RNC was
Yeah, exactly. Just lower
like
gates for the people that
gate
yeah,
3
yeah.
good gates. Like it was ridiculous.
So back to this fight, gentlemen. Tricky Swift's opening up very strong. You see him hit the body there
He is
a few
just-
times, and he's just putting the pressure here on Getting
No.
Spark.
But, you know,
And a
Getting
big
Spark
kick
doing some
lands.
good damage to the head here as well, though. Getting
Yeah,
back
no,
to
he's
these
definitely making the
exchanges.
comeback here, but Trixie also kicking the legs out very slightly. I think it's going to be a back and forth fight across the board. Expect this to come out of the first round and probably start to really unleash into the second, although Trixie is looking like he's trying to end it quickly. Late overhand was just got fired. He's now re-entering that pocket, putting on the pace. It's very much trying his damnedest here. Does Getting Spark to find a shot that's landing, but it seems like the footwork of Trixie so far seems to be leading the fight.
Exactly, and he's making less work of Getting Spark's footwork just by chopping that lead leg again. It's what he's known for, man. He's so killer with those leg kicks, and it definitely does help him in terms of the power, the footwork, people not being able to circle out of his strikes as much. So it's a game plan for Trixie. Always has been.
Yeah, Trixie very well known for them leg kicks as well as Dirty Dave. It is in the BFAT camp and also very well versed on the ground if it does go there. But Getting Spark doing some good. He's doing some good head health.
Yeah.
But Trixie, for me, just seems like he's running away with this a bit. But I don't know. He keeps landing them shots to the head, and maybe, you know, couple rocks, couple drops, and he's right back in his fight.
Ooh, he nearly
almost moved into that.
Yeah, that was a scary
I think
time.
Trixie's really at his best is when he mixes everything up. So when he goes to the ground, he can hold side control really well and sort of mix up the sort of grappling in with the striking. I think that's when he plays his best. So I'd like to see a shot here from Trixie.
Not finding home where he can. Lands the uppercut straight down the middle as well. Does he go? If I'm getting spot right now, I need to consider what my best options are. That rear hook definitely is an idea, but getting stunned like that and close to the end, I don't know how we didn't get dropped just at the end, to be honest. But Trixie securing that round, 60 out of 130 strikes is going to be a bit questioning that hit accuracy, but still relatively high. Stun goes in his favour, and that's definitely Trixie's leading round. Entering into the second round, getting spot's going to really have to think about what he wants to do, how he wants to do it, and make some really big adjustments here, Jakey.
Yeah, some big adjustments needed indeed. Was doing some good striking, getting the head health lower, Poirier, but it does seem like the head health, and a big pull straight, goes back to that body, and Tricky Swiss looking back to his best. He really needs to start accumulating wins like we know he can, you know. Took a loss to Suave Jamie in the tournament, as we all know. Suave Jamie undefeated. Oh, he's not undefeated, sorry, you could be Buffad. But Suave Jamie looking clean, so Suave Jamie not a loss to frown upon, to be upset about, but then obviously taking that loss last week to Yerda. So he's going to be very hungry for this win, and he's looking... that was close. But to be fair, I think if he was in range for the head kick... but still getting sparks, you know. He's a tricky customer, you know. He's got some, look, you see that lands there. It only takes, you've seen Tricky slip in the wrong direction sometimes. Yeah. And he only needs one combination, and the head health on Trixie, look, like that. That could easily be a rock.
The leg.
The leg absolutely looking worse for wear. And there it is again, another big rock.
That's what Trixie does, man.
I think getting spark is more comfortable in Orthodox as well, because he's been using Dustin Poirier a lot in Orthodox, so that even helps Trixie here.
And a triple to the body, quad to the body, slips to the body, and getting sparked, having trouble with the low block, and that is just...
Oh, bloody hell. Trixie's trying to kill her, man, break him in every angle he can. He wants to break the legs, break the liver.
A big chest, eventually. Robbed. In my opinion, robbed.
Maybe.
He's your camp, mate, Jakey.
But to be fair, the leg health damage is...
It's a reduction, man.
It's a reduction in the power. Exactly. Yeah. So maybe without the power, getting the power reduction, getting spark does win that right.
But he gets it that time.
He gets it that time, and he throws, and he goes body. There, I'm just throwing 1-2 head kick and hoping for
Trust
the
me,
best,
man. Trying to kill him.
Double up on the elbows.
Double elbow. Trixie channeling his inner T4.
That has to be it.
That has to be it. And he jumps a knee on belly.
He survives.
Gorgeous. What in the world? Trixie's his second round comes into play. The best round of his fight, putting on a performance. Worked the legs, he's broken poor Dustin Poirier like he did to McGregor IRL. He's worked the head, worked the body. He's got stunned himself though. Nearly got knocked down. Came back though with double elbows. But now here we are with the last 40 seconds left on the clock of the second round. If I'm Trixie, I'm getting the fuck back up and just continuing.
No, here.
25.
No.
25. Good mount defense and a
slip.
He can be better here now. He's not got the stamina. It's unfortunate for getting sparked. If he could have got some damage there, it would have been huge for him.
Would have been huge, but head health not all out of range. We've seen in that round, he's come back into it, but look at them stats. That's a 10-8 in my books, gentlemen.
That is a scary place to be if you're getting sparked, but a bit of hope still exists. If you can catch him on a counter, that's all you need. Then you just need to finish the man. And Trixie is a hard man to kill, but maybe, hopefully, you have the proof here. If I'm Trixie, I'm a couple punches and a calf kick and a leg kick. I'm just doing that over and over again. I'm just...
and a big
it's a little bit nervous still for Trixie, but...
It is indeed.
That head health. You don't want to get flashed, that's the only thing.
And a big check. and it's all still to play for though. As you see, Tricky Swift's head health low, but very dominant. Every time he touches that leg, and then a big rock, and here you got a thing just thrown. Return to centre.
No way.
Oh no,
bro! No way! No way!
How do you nearly throw this away, Trixie?
It's not only yet. 3:40 left to go, and so far, fight of the season. A big takedown denied. Getting Spark, put it all on the line. Tricky Swift looking crazy, but getting Spark, no mug.
I've never seen a man nearly clutches this badly. Jesus, I mean, he could still seriously. Oh Jesus! Every time they engage, it is a scary one. The uppercut, though, even landed on the block, did it. Trixie now looking for the takedown. I think that's a very wise idea. Let's keep it on the ground. But as I say, that he ends up rolling into the sprawl position. He's back. He's against the cage. Easy to get up. He gets reversed.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
You got to stand up, bro. You got to stand up. For me, you got to stand up.
I think he does have to stand up as well. I think if he keeps it down, this isn't Trixie as well. Maybe he looks for a top mount position. We have seen him, though, have a couple issues with that. Trixie, though, building his GA as much as he can into his favour. Gets a denial on that top mount, and this is just a scary place to be for either one of these guys. Goes to the backseat approach. Does get it. Trixie shouldn't get up if he wants to continue to win, I believe, but you never know.
I'm going to be very upset if this fight don't finish on the feet.
100%, man. But I think if I'm Trixie here, I'm going to try and grind it out, right? I'll be a little bit nervous.
1 point for a decision, though.
He's checking the stats. What? Oh, my God.
Only 1 point for a decision win. So if a finish is necessary, you will need to find it in this last minute.
I feel like, though, if they go to back onto the feet, you don't actually know who the fuck's going to be winning this fight. Kimura attempts an armbar. I mean, he could do.
Kimura would have been better there, man. The armbar's a little bit predictable in that situation.
Trixie getting back up to the feet.
Here we go.
The man's insane. Okay, here we go. Dustin Poirier in the blues, got no leg health. Head kick lands there, digs down to the body, gets a stun there, digs down there, and he knocks him out.
And there we go, 3 points. Wow, what? That might be one of the best fights I've ever watched.
It's a great fight, man.
I don't know about it. I feel like Trixie was very dominant, but I feel like, I don't know, my boy getting Spark was just there the whole time, you know. And
he was there, man. He was doing that head damage from early. Do you know what I mean? And even though Trixie was working every aspect, you know, you got to say head's probably the most important one because you can just get flashed or get knocked out like it's nothing. So it was a good performance for both of them, but Trixie just really had the sort of veteran mindset though.
A lot of guys saying fight of the night for sure, but
oh, that is 110% fight of the night. If you don't believe that's fight of the night, you are blind. Is my
just saying, guys.
Yet, boys.
Tricky Swift.
I don't care. I
Swift.
don't know how you beat that type of fight unless you have somehow ended up standing in the centre of the octagon with each other and just battering each heads off. Jesus.
I believe we have had 3 fights, 5 events, and if we check. Someone just smashed the plate. If we go to check the performance god section, so fight of the night, Trixie, fight of the night, Trixie, fight of the night, Trixie. So out of 4 events, Trixie's had 3 fight of the nights, maybe a 5th, maybe 4 out of 5. Trixie has been involved in fight of the night. So if you aren't entertained, you are now. Tricky Swift really showing out. What a great competitor.
Sure.
Really showing out there with all them fight of the night bonuses.
That was a wall and a half.
That was a great. As we move back to our card, crazy fight. It's left me a bit speechless, lads. If I'm honest with you, getting Sparks, slipping clinches, hitting elbows, but not enough in the bag to put Trixie out. Maybe it was the leg health. You know, if he didn't take so much leg damage early, he would have been able to put him away there with some of them uppercuts he caught him with, things like that. But nevertheless, that completes our main card this evening, and we are moving on to our final 2 fights of the evening. It is Webbo versus Lilo. Webbo, 4-0.
Webbo got 2 ads.
Webbo versus Lilo. Webbo looking absolutely dominant. 4-0 in this establishment so far. could have matched him with Suave Jamie, but I felt like I didn't want to just feed him to the dogs. You know, I want to give him a chance, and then if he can prove himself, he will be fed to the biggest dog of all, and that may be Fadanator if he can overcome the test that is FrostyMMA. So, without further ado, we will get into this one. If I just grab the old... It is Iron Webbo, 2 ads. I rate 2 ads. 2 ads is not 6. Webbo give me 6 ads in the... his 1v1 me fight had 6 ads. I'll
Oh, so he pulled a Sonic Sean then?
He pulled a Sonic Sean, yeah. And we was watching it all on the little side piece here. I actually got it in the side piece, but we'll take the 2 ads.
Adventures that could stir the weariest soul.
But anyway, a little comment I see earlier was Pabs versus Spider. What do you think about that concept?
I'm the one that dropped that comment, bro.
Oh, swear.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fight and a fucking half. Jesus, well, I feel sorry for Spider, I think. But
I mean, bro, that would be such a good technical matchup, in my opinion. I feel like either man could get it done. I'd probably give the advantage to Paz just because I've played him so much. I know what he can do.
If you let them sort out the weight class, and I think if you take away McGregor from Paps, that's a fight and a half. Yeah.
Spider does him in 2.
I don't know which way that goes, honestly. I feel like that's just a war and a half.
Without further ado, though, #1 contendership on the line for Webbo. Maybe not so much Lilo, but only sporting a 3-2 record, I believe. 4-2 record, maybe. But Webbo clean 4-0. 4-0 on this run. It would be hard to deny him a title shot if he does get this done, which is Lilo. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Both Volkanovski picks. How do you see this one going?
Alright, this is going to be a war. This is the way this goes. I mean, Webbo has previously had fights with Dave within 2 competitive league fights with Dave within about the last week or so, as you can see in VFL. That was at bantamweight and flyweight respectively. So Webbo's used to fighting this high level caliber of skill. He has shown very competitive striking, but and he also has a really good side control. Lilo, on the other hand, very aggressive on the feet. He knows that movement's very good use to jab. Both using the same picks, so stat wise it's going to be all about the skill. 1-1 a piece going into this. Don't know without his own OWC, whatever, but that really shows you know which way that's going to move. It's an interesting co-main event. I don't think either guy really outweighs the other, so it's going to be about how they perform.
That was beautiful deny.
That was a beautiful deny, and Lilo beat me in prime time, and Webbo didn't, so I think Lilo wins it. But
I'd give Lilo the advantage on the
big
feet.
drop.
Webbo's just a bit cheesy in there, you know. He knows he knows to use all the tools that are in the box, and you know you saw it there with that drop as well, coming off the spin and elbow. So.
And he's striking, he's indeed showing leaps and bounds. He is looking like a more complete fighter as weeks progress. He is looking good. NEC 5, he was saying NEC 5-0 for Webbo. And you know, if he does win this one, he will deserve it. You know, he's beat Leech, he's beat Lilo. If he does get this one done, some impressive wins, you know. So yeah, he will have definitely earned it if he gets this done, but no easy task, because even though with that drop, Lilo with the head-off advantage.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd give, like, in terms of like the actual pure striking advantage, I'd give it to Lilo. Of course, Webbo wants to try and take it to the mat. You saw it there with that attempt. So got to see. Lilo's kept it standing so far, which is impressive, especially with 2 of the takedowns attempted.
Yeah, if you're Webbo, I think what you do right now is your game plan is you keep it busy on the feet. You still try to score on the feet, but you're just trying to see if there's any holes, any ideas where Lilo is kind of lax, and you look to then get the takedown denials. Lilo's got a different type of game plan style. His is come forward, keep it busy, win on the feet. So his is all purely about the striking. Webbo's looking for the openings if he can find them, if he can entice Lilo into having a brawl and then finding a home for a takedown shot or a general shot that's going to knock him down to then be able to follow up on the ground and keep it there.
Exactly, man, and you've got to think something about the block there as well. You can see Webbo's block is looking a little bit low here, so if Lilo can keep those combos coming at his head, just help him even more. Oof.
Very interesting, as both of these guys really putting out, and it's a very close round, I think, and a big Lilo's takedown defense looking great.
Yeah, it is.
And a couple of them there as well, going for the spinning elbow into the elbow, happily firing back onto Webbo's type of style. Big miss, but the end of the round, that round arguably goes though to Webbo. One knockdown into his favour, 16-12, significant strikes. That's one in the bag. Coming to second round, Lilo's going to kind of know what to expect, so maybe not going to have such difficulty with the striking, but both of them starting at a fairly high pace by the looks of it and looking to put on a barn burner still here tonight.
They are indeed, and when these fights are like this, it all can be down to moments like this as Lilo looks to break his heart. And if I'm Lilo, I'm standing up.
Yes, if I'm Lilo, I also agree. Better off just standing up. Does get denied though, and that's the difficulty. Oh, though, lovely denial there. Goes for it again, though.
Posture up.
He's going. That's right. He's gonna know. He's gonna want to stand up, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Bro.
Oh.
Very, very good denials.
From both men here.
Both men.
Yeah.
Very, very
Lilo finally gets it. Good job, though, by Webbo. He definitely wanted to keep it there. I mean, that's a bit of a break as well. Kills a lot of the time, so even though I think he may know that he's not going to be able to get the knockdown as easy to get back, so kill a bit of time waste. Some of the round, get even less time to get hurt on the feet. He's just a bit more calm, able to reset himself.
All right, so it lands another punch there, and he smells blood in the water, going right back at that cut.
Absolutely. The opponent has a lot of scar tissue around the eyes. He was able to cut it open, and now he just touched
Oh my god, drop back there.
Oh, and this
into
could
the
be
full
it.
guard. This could be it.
It's
Oh
over.
my god, it is.
Oh, that's
And
it.
that-
Jesus.
NEC
Well then.
5-0. Webbo with a beautiful finish.
How have we let Webbo get 5-0 then?
Don't know how we've let him get 5-0, but he's 5-0.
Webbo coming out, playing like a mental person, getting the win, spinning elbow there, let you know for a fact. Lilo ain't going to be that happy, but hey ho, that is the way it goes. You get into this fight, so anything is allowed. Webbo, well, room reason, of course. And then Webbo just put on a performance. He looked bad at the very beginning of that round. Got knocked down in the first, got knocked down himself, but then came back, was able to get a finish, and that was that. Putting on a fight of an evening, getting himself to 5-0, and arguably possibly a title shot in the future.
Definitely a title shot for that man. 5-0, can't argue it. You know, I didn't want to feed him to the wolves. I wanted to give him a close matchup. You know, someone that is good. Lilo is decent. He's a good competitor for Webbo in that situation. So it will be Webbo versus Fadanator or Webbo versus FrostyMMA, depending on how this next main event goes. But looking at statistics, Fadanator is really the man to beat. And can Frosty do it? He did it last week against Dirty Dave, or he did dig deep and come back. He will have 5 rounds to do it. But yeah, it will be a very, very well-earned title shot for FrostyMMA. For Webbo, sorry. So let's just see if these gentlemen are good to go. And well done, gents. Putting the stream links in the fighter check-in, the fight before yours, actually worked a treat. So thank you very much. So this will be live on Fadanator's Twitch. And it is all the glory, you know, all the glory. 9-1 record I'm seeing here for Fadanator. You know, tough fight here for Frosty. I played Fadanator on ranked earlier. I had a good start, but, you know, over the course of the next 5 minutes, he really took it to me and done really well. So this one will be contested at featherweight, at lightweight, sorry. And yeah, Fadanator.
We'll work out the weight in good time.
Yeah, we'll work.
They know what. I was going to say they know what the weight they're fighting at, so we're all good. As long as they know what weight they're fighting at and who they're picking, we're all fine and dandy. FrostyMMA, part of the KM camp. He is a man that is a very competitive striker on the feet, likes to body kick and kind of uses that. I think he has been in recent times able to grapple, for some say. He's started to build up that rusty MMA game. Fadanator is a man who does it all. It's about as simple as it. He can do it all. He just decides to pick a striker this time around, and that's his main game plan, of course. But he's taken down. He's happy to engage in the grappling there concept. So, got to imagine Fad's just going to kind of have a game plan and kind of just adjust as time goes on.
Exactly that. But Frosty's, you know, a really good competitor, right? He knows how to sort of grind out a win again, like we saw. But Fadanator is just, man, I think he's the best player on this game. He's so clean with it.
He is very clean with it, but if a man can get it done from the depths, it is Frosty. We've seen him dig deep, but Fadanator has looked just beautiful, you know. And if this man does really just dominate the whole season as a champion, it's going to be a well-deserved 2 picks. maybe a well-deserved pick for the sort of streak he's going on at the minute, just putting on absolute clinic after clinic, couple submission wins, big submission win last week, a big submission win a week before as well. So we might not see that with this Conor McGregor pick, but a very dominant performance expected nonetheless. But FrostyMMA looking to put an end to the hype train that is Fadanator and become the second ever undisputed NEC champion and get himself in that Champions Lounge.
I mean, he's just taken apart everyone that he's come up against, man. Honestly.
Literally.
Like,
Suave, Gamp,
yeah, bro.
Keza. Yeah, just absolutely dominant. But, you know, FrostyMMA is here. He will be hoping if he can win this one. He might think Webbo might be an easier fight. A little break from all the high-level comp.
Yeah.
And a little bit of Webbo on the side, but Webbo, no joke, as we've seen. And a big takedown denied, and Fadanator keeps us on the feet.
Slow and steady wins the race so far. Frosty trying to keep it on a high pace though. The bodywork of Fad has definitely made itself known. Stamina though fairly even. It should be noted that the body straight of Frosty seems to be his main tool so far, but Fad's slowly getting a read on it, slowly working it out, and probably going to start capitalising on bigger shots as time goes on. Takedown does happen, but gets a nice deny.
Fad's so clean. He's not even pressuring right now like we've seen Fad do. You know, he's sort of keeping it, playing a more patient style, which he can do just as well, to be honest. So, I don't know, man. I feel like this is just going to be a bit of a Fad masterclass that we've seen.
And a knee to the body lands from Fadanator as he does pile on, slowly picking apart the block of the Volkanovski pick with FrostyMMA, but Frosty doing all right. You know, he's not out of this fight by any means. You know, he's still here. This fight is 3 rounds.
Oh well.
So it's a 3-round title fight, gents.
Nah.
If it does go to a decision, we will go to maybe I don't know, 2 more rounds of a full head held. What do you reckon?
I don't know, man. If it's like a clean sweep, 3-0, then he would have won the fight anyway, right?
Yeah,
that's fine.
I mean, okay, here's the thing also got to put in remember. The challenger is the one who set this fight up.
Yeah, so it's not really Fadanator's fault, right?
Yeah, so it's not even the champ making it, it's the challenger, so...
Yeah, it should be 5 rounds, no better, bro, but obviously, you know, people don't listen.
4 to 22 significant strikes into the favour of Fadanator. Clean sweeping, arguably in that round. No stuns, no knockdown.
Bro, the guy is just so clean, man. I don't even feel like Frosty can get anything done here.
Yeah, very tough for him, but he was down and out against Dirty Dave, you know. He looked like he was sore, but that could be
fucking hell.
That could be, and it is.
And is it?
Bro, it's just ridiculous what that guy does, man.
It was one shot, one knockdown, and then suddenly he's just unconscious, and that was the way it goes. We were wondering if we were going to need another 2 rounds after the 3, but Fadanator realised, nah, fuck that, I'm just going to make it 2 rounds and a bit, make it a round and a bit, and that was all she wrote there. Fadanator retained his title, putting on performance of the evening. Got to admit, he barely got hit. He hit his opponent more, and just that was all she wrote.
Stupid, man. Every title fight has been anticlimactic because they're coming up against Fadanator and that, man. Someone needs to give this bloke a challenge. I don't know who it's going to be to do that, but it's crazy. It's crazy what he does with the
Let's go! JTB, baby! Underdog of the year, baby! Let's go!
Turn off the screen capture. Bosh, bosh, bosh. Make sure you're checking out NUGS EU, community token. Built by gamers, for the gamers, guys. Very, very interesting project. So make sure you read up on it. Make sure you are aware of what's going on, and make sure you do get involved. And you can sign up for the UFC 4 League here, and you can upload your clips for the potential KO of the season. You do have your prize list here, so you can see all the prizes that are... Oh, what's happened? What's happened? Oh, you can see all the prizes there anyway, and then yeah, you can go here if you're staking on Gentlemen, folks. You can go here on the standings, and you can check the rankings when they are updated tomorrow, and see how everyone is getting along. So yeah, you can check out the 1v1me rankings. Who's that? Who's that?
Who's that?
Who's that? What a fucking player is anyway. Can we have a belt for this? What do you think?
1v1 me belt.
1v1 me champ. What do we think, Jack?
Maybe you slap a prize on for it, Jakey, man.
So basically, all the guys earning profits from the 1v1 me side, because the profits are not massive, all the guys are adding their money to a pot. So, yeah, all the guys are adding the money to the pot, and at the award show, it will be spun for all the guys that have had a profitable win on 1v1 me. And yeah, so the pot stands at about 100, something like that. If the guys don't want to add to the pot, that's fine. They can take their money and they can do that. But obviously, I'd highly recommend if they do, because it's probably worth doing that and being a stake for end of season, maybe like a couple $100, $300 or whatever it may be. And yeah, so we will be doing that at the end from the guys that you see with a win, and a profitable win to say the least. So yeah, make sure you check them out. Jacob B obviously on top. Yeah, BFAB on top. Looking down at all my all these free wins. Yeah. But yeah, make sure you check out nugsau.org. Yeah, great website. You know, you can sign up to be a streamer, affiliate, things like that. Check out the Gamer Hub. Yeah, so make sure you're checking it out, guys. And a big shout out to 1v1me. Go sign up over there. Use code NUGSAU for a free $10. Great event, gents. Anything you want to say?
Nah, man, that's it. Good event, bro.
Yeah, fun fights across the board, performances from everybody there. Fantastic job there. Yeah, fantastic overall.
Fantastic overall indeed. So we will go ahead and we will swing a little raid to someone. We'll go maybe swing a little raid over to Showtime or something like that. Keep it in the UFC community. Make sure you go over there, say hi. If I can get like maybe 20 of you, if there's even still 20 of you left, just to go over there and just say hello. JKB raid, pop, pop, pop. It does me a load of favours, and yeah, it does really, really good in the community. So thanks all for the follows as well. Love Kevo, D Quick Graphics for that sub as well, Chunk, Shay Lewis and Psycho Shark as well. Yeah, we're at 541 followers, so we're on a road to 1,000, and when we hit that one, we will do something mega. We'll do something big. BFAB 6 and 1 on top. Yes, BFAB on top. Big sweep from our boys tonight. Very proud, and we will see you next week, same time possibly. Let's have a little chat with the team, because we don't really want to overrun ESFL, so we will sort something out, and we'll keep you well informed. But nevertheless, sign-ups will be out for that. We will go over and we will raid Showtime. All my brethrens. It's been lovely. Built by gamers, for the gamers. Make sure you're checking out everyone. 21 ready to raid, 22 ready to raid. Love you all. Peace.
Azzy. Yeah, that is fucked. Especially because you guys know me as a real motherfucker.
Let's go. JTB, baby. Underdog of the year, baby. Let's go. Pulls him into mount, could be over, and it is anime expert. What did I say? Really?
Me personally as well, like, I think these come on, I don't think these guys, like, everyone's
And then Kenmure finds a way back to his feet. Back to his feet. And I know Kenmure will be at. He's out. Kesalabro. The underdog, bro. It's Kesalabro, bro. Yeah, very, very, very tough. Surprising, though. And another drop. And that's it. Yoda. 3-1-2. Wow.
Like you said at the start, very locked into this.
And it is over. Dirty Dave. Dominant as expected. Very dominant. Oh, and a big drop. Falls into Mount. And that is Suave Jamie.